Hello. Testing. Slay the Greys. Hi, everybody. Love and life. Thank you for the chips. Yum, 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 yum. And Melty, thanks for being an axhole. Okay, good morning, everybody. Audio is going to be a little weird today, probably because I still haven't set up my blanket fort because I hate streaming from inside of it because it drives me insane. But hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's tolerably... I'm trying not to speak too loud, so hopefully it's tolerably, you know, not too ASMR-y, but not too fucking... Echo. Thank you for another chip. Thank you. Slay the Greys. Maybe that'll be our new thing. Slay the Greys. That's fucked up. But yeah. So anyway, audio is preferably relatively tolerable. Banana. Thank you for 12 whole months. Man, the banana never lasts that long in my Balatro runs. How's this possible? I get like 3 runs out of it tops before it gets destroyed. It's the saddest moment of my life. Good job on the long blink. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you better start sweating, Alza. I'm watching you. Myra, thank you for the gifted chip. I was supposed to say something here. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. So let's do this right. You guys ready? Jones Man, thank you for 13 months. Here we go. First of all, this is going to be a relatively long stream, I think, for typical monthly resolves, because I have a lot to talk about. And a lot has happened in 1 month, to the point where when I was recapping this month to myself and writing down my notes, I was like, oh, shit, a lot's happened this month. Right. But 2, I also have a lot of stories and stuff I've just kind of collected to talk about, and they're a little disjointed, a little random and all over the place, but that's okay. It's not like there's a straight narrative, because it's just shit that's happened to me in Xenokuni, but... yeah, the first segment of this is going to be my typical resolve, though a little loose because it wasn't a typical month. And then after that, I'll just talk about shit that's happened to Xenokuni, so we'll see. It could be 2 hours, it could be 4 hours, I don't know yet. It just depends on how long it takes me to get through each story and how, like, into them, I guess, I get. Because I feel like sometimes when a story doesn't come up naturally, it can be hard for me to really get into the flow of it and explain it in a way that does the story justice, right? I kind of got to get back into the swing of talking about the story, or give a shit, or get into the story naturally, because then it's a lot easier to talk about it and really like explain the details. But if you ask me to just tell you a story, I'll be like, I don't know, this one time I almost drowned. Okay, anyway. And that's boring. That's lame. So as they come up naturally, I'll try and talk about them. Cool? Cool. Story time. Yippee! Yippee! Anyway, my name's Crimzon Rulez. I'm Elysium's greatest monster hunter. I am your least favorite idol, and today I'm going to be doing a monthly resolve. So, this one's called Gomenasorry. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast, Gomenasorry. Wait, was the example real? Almost drowning? I think I've talked about that a few times. I've almost drowned like 3, 4 times. Anyway, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it some other time. That is not one of story times. That's another story time for later. A romantic pigeon. Thanks for the chip. Morning, Kiko. I do feel rested. Oh no. I mean, thank you for doing that. But also, I hope you bought yourself some immediate gifts to enjoy as well. Or maybe like a little cake or something. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the chips. I mean, soup. Gomenasorry. Sai. Is it cold there? It's a little cold right now, yes. Yeah, it's a little cold right now. I woke up and it was definitely pretty chilly in here. The floors are very cold, but I'm oogly doo, as I tend to be. Speaking of merch, that brings up the sponsor for that. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about that a little later, but don't worry about it. Ooh, thank you for the chip cone. So what, Cone? Have I ever called you Cone? I meant investigation. Why did I just cut the first half? You know, fuck it. Your new name is Cone. We're on a second name basis now. I don't think I realized how cold I was until I realized I was sitting like cross-legged and I've clasped both my hands together and put them in between my legs while I'm talking to you guys. I look like a little dork. But that's okay. That's okay. Now I'm like, oh shit, I am cold. Huh. Interesting. Dude, the way these two, like the way each chat is scrolling at different speeds is very frustrating. I've got like, okay, so I have the dock in OBS and that is, I think, delayed. Yeah, it's delayed. That's what it is. And then the one on the actual YouTube window is not. GT Roxy, thanks for the chip. Okay, so let's get serious, shall we? How do I usually start these things? I think it's been a while since I've done a month. It feels like it's been like a whole half a year since I've done a monthly resolve. And that's not true. It's been like a month. It's just a lot has happened in a month. I guess I'll start just by yapping. How's that sound? Do you guys want to just yap a little bit? Not like I like you or anything, Babaka. It's just that I had this chip laying around and it was old and dirty and I didn't want it. Anyway, here, I guess. Is that what they call tsundere? Is that the word I'm looking for? Good times. I'm not tsundere. I just hate people. Points right, points left. Tsunderers. That sounds like thunderers. Thunderers. I am the god of I'm Earth's mightiest revenger. So I'm just a hater. Yeah, that's me. When people say fuck the haters, they're talking about me specifically. That is me. In what way? Like, no. Get your minds out of the gutter. It's too early for that energy. What I mean when I say fuck the haters and I'm talking about me, I mean like screw you, dude. That kind of like fuck the haters. Not like wine and dine the haters. Nobody's trying to wine and dine their haters, brother. I mean, some people might be, but couldn't be me. I would never tarnish the sacred relationship of hatred. I would never muddy the waters of hate and how beautiful and pure hate is with whining and dining. Thank you. Yeah, step down, Goonzaders. What are you doing, Goonzaders? That's terrible. What's up? I'm Crimson Goons. Oh, that hurt. All right. Anyway, we've already got one of those. His name's Azure, but we keep him locked in the basement. Fuck that guy. Psychic damage, true. God, I hate this chair. I finally got the pillows off of it because they were too short. So this chair was definitely made for like a Xenokunian, I'm assuming baby, like a Xenokunian fucking infant, to rock it to sleep after it's done with its hard day of grinding fucking Fortnite rank or whatever. But like the pillows were at the small of my back level and then my like lower shoulders somehow. I'm like, I am too long in both directions for this. This is not working. Danny, thank you for the delicious soup. I will not give that to fucking Azure. He does not deserve it. No. Please give me a new chair, right? No, I just took the pillows off it. It's fine now. Well, I took one pillow off it. I still got the one on the small of my back because I think it's helping me like hunch less. I think I'm like leaning back into it right now, but then I sound weird, so I had to hunch forward a little bit more. I don't know. It's helping me sit up just a little straighter. Benui says, kind of very late to the party, but congrats on your outfit. Thank you. Love the rogue vibes. And hey, I did manage to grow my hair out. So, I think you're just secretly a giant. You caught me. My mom used to always say she had giant's blood in her, which is funny because she was a very short woman. I told her she had dwarf blood in her. Luckily, I didn't get any of that. Goal achieved. You're damn straight I said that to my mom. Tell that to the height cover took from you. I'm fine with that. That's fine. Ah, the giant blood and the dwarf blood cancel each other out. Now I'm just 5-something. I don't know. True. My older sister got the giant blood. Lucky. Lucky. I don't fucking know. Raccoon blood? Badger blood? Listen, somebody, all I'm saying is somebody in my lineage went way too far down the fucking animal specking tree or something. I don't know what was going on. I thought you was a normal human. I am, mostly. Probably. Gremlin. Yeah, I got gremlin. Raccoon blood, for real, for real. I'm just a guy. I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, I'm just talking about my fursona. Relax, guys. I'm talking about my Sonic OC. Don't be weird about it. All right, so monthly resolve. Here's the structure for this typically. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the highlights for January. There is a lot of highlights to cover, so give me a moment to grab my... Tan-tan! Okay. We're going to do this slightly more informally today because I can and because this is what I've got and this is what you're going to look at. So, tan-tan! Yeah, January highlights. So there was a lot of these. There was a lot that was done this month. Look at this wanted poster. Every time I do, it functions as a coaster. That was smooth, clean, nice job. Wow, 10 out of 10, Ruze. You fucking lyrical genius, brother. Damn, I really got to quit my job and become a musician, clearly. Or maybe, I don't know, a lyricist. I'll ghostwrite for actual famous musicians. Problem solved. No problem. Okay, so January, guess what happened? A lot. I did a VR stream. I don't know if you guys remember that. That's how long ago that was. It feels like 10 years ago to me. I did a VR stream. First one in a while. I played more Grimlord. That was very cool. The update on it. Let's see. I played some Minecraft again. I did a Hunt Showdown stream. This was all before I actually went to Xenokuni, right? Right? Yeah, you guys forgot about that, didn't you? Doesn't that feel like forever ago? It feels like forever ago to me anyway. It feels like forever ago. Yeah, that was at the beginning of January. I did a VR stream. I played Minecraft. I played Hunt Showdown. And then I disappeared for a few days. That was me going to Xenokuni. Then I landed in Xenokuni and like the next day I did a stream. Oh, I started Tavern Manager this month. That was pretty cool. Yeah, we did the Axe Forge Cafe, remember? And nothing weird happened. It was a totally normal stream. That was a totally normal stream. Yeah, Noida was fun. Noida was fun. Actually, I've been thinking about getting back into Noida soon-ish. There's a mod I want to try that I want to give it a shot, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on if I get perms, but we'll see. I also really want to beat Tavern Manager Simulator, but we will see. We will see. That's for a later slide, or I mean wanted poster that I'm definitely just going to hold up in your face like a little freak. So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. What else have I done this month? I made Elysium in Worldbox. It was goofy. Everybody died. I forgot to retweet that. Somebody made a really cool clip that like compiled everybody dying, and I meant to retweet that. I'll have to do that later. That's fun. There's a lot of cats at the tavern. Was there cats at the tavern? and Tavern Manager. All I remember was wearing some dumb outfit, and then the rest I blanked out of my memory. Thank you, Clippers. We love you. Thank you, Clippers. We love you. All right, that's all. Xenokuni, I'll be here all week. Good night. That's not true. I won't be here all week. I'll be here for the stream. Here's the soup from the tavern set because I missed it in every other stream this month. I hate capitalism. You missed every stream this month? No. Capitalism, busy times, brutal, but thank you, Zuna, for holy shit, a Crimzupa. My God, my golly gee, gosh, what a gift. What a treat for a delicious warm, hot Crimzupa on a cold winter morning. No, but really, thank you. I hope you're able to catch Voz at least. I mean, if not, no pressure, but hopefully, Sowie, I stream at dumb hours. Sowie, I'm trying to keep up with my EST and EU time slots to make sure things stay relatively normal, but you know, easier said than done. So, thank you for the soup. Yes, let's go, VOD. Yes. Man, I've really got the fucking like audio cue brain rot today, huh? Whoopsies. Hopefully capitalism busy time ends for you soon. What else have I done this month? Oh, I played more Mana Lords, so that was cool. I got to play the update, and I did a little bit of save scumming, but we made it further than we've ever made it before, and I might pick that back up sometime. We'll see. It might be a little overwhelming to pick it back up. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to get further than we've ever been. We actually grabbed a new region, which is bonkers to me. Let's see. I had, we did our first Armis collab in like 2 fucking months. So that was pretty cool. That's pretty rare now at this point, I guess. I know everybody's really busy right now though, so I get it. What else have we done? And an Ohio to you as well name I cannot read. That's katakana, and then it's she something. Katakana no something. Oh no. It was a very messy collab, but you know what? It worked out, and that's what matters. Maybe somebody was lagging incredibly bad, and maybe somebody like crashed the Armis party, and maybe somebody kept disappearing, and maybe we were almost a half an hour late, and maybe somebody was busy playing Marvel Rivals and not being in the collab very much. But you know what? We still did it, and that counts. I dropped a new outfit. That's pretty big, I guess. That happened this month. Yeah, believe it or not, I know it's hard to tell, but I'm wearing new clothes. I look a little different. I know you're surprised. I know you're like, what? Ruze dropped a new outfit? I did. New background, new outfit, new hair, maybe a little bit of new lore, maybe a little new voice pack. I don't know. It's a sequin. I'll talk about that during the merch segment though, so let's keep that. Let's not mix our mediums. All right, let's not keep your corn out of my mashed potatoes, okay? Relax. I know, you never would have guessed. I did not do laundry. You guys are mistaken. I just burnt my old clothes. I'll buy new ones again later. I'm kidding.
Yay, I'm not stinky anymore. I'm not stinky now.
Do not bap the ponytail. You may not. That's expensive? Oh, you guys don't burn your clothes whenever you're done with them? Oh. Okay, I guess. If you think soap and water work, that's a myth. I guess if you guys like being dirty, that's okay, I guess. Just kidding. Let me think. There's other things in. Hold on. Look, I'm cooking. My brain's cooking. Galaxy Rinrin. Thanks for being a Ruzader. Let's see. Oh, I did my Balatro arc. That was pretty cool. As in, like, you know, I played my first ever Balatro game, and then I played another one, and then I might have done a third. I don't remember if I've done a third stream. I know I've been playing a little bit off stream here and there. But I had a really, really good run last time we played, and that was cool. And I want to review that VOD at some point because I want to see what plays I made. I'm probably going to review it on mute so I don't have to hear my voice, but I will watch it. Oh, and we did a puzzle hand cam. Yeah, you guys remember that? I remember how slow you guys were. We all sat down and we did a puzzle together, and God, you guys were so slow at doing that. But I'm going to try to vacate the rest of that memory from my mind as well, because that is the closest I've ever gotten to having a mental breakdown on stream. So that wasn't great. It was fun, though. It was goofy. It was fun. The almost 7 hours long puzzling. Yeah. Whew. I feel like I sneeze. No, I'm good. Okay. Me? No. I was crushing it. I was crushing it on puzzle time. I was absolutely dominating puzzle time. I know you guys were moving pretty slow, but me, I was dominating puzzle time, okay? That is what it is. This is why you should blink from time to time. All right, settle down, Mom. I'll never blink, never again. But yeah, January was a very packed month. It was very long. I remember the last stream I did, I'm trying to think. The last stream I did before I left for Xenokuni was... I think it was Hunt. It was a lot. I was doing a lot. I was like as soon as I closed that last stream, I went to finish packing because I had to leave basically the next day. Yeah, it's already February. I forgot that as well. And I've got a lot to catch up on. And I've got a lot of work to do. And juggling work and streaming and actually like getting out and experiencing Xenokuni and membership content is a lot of juggling, and I am not a good juggler. So, my bad. But I've been trying. I promise I've been trying, which does pretty cleanly segue into my next thing I wanted to talk about, which is membership. January's membership was kind of shit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and sorry, I tried. But I have plans. I have plans for February's membership to hopefully make it a little bit better. So hang in there. Stay strong. I'm trying. So on that note, rather than doing a membership slide about like what I did in January, since I was kind of lacking, other than the wallpaper, which I thought was cool. The wallpaper was cool. Speaking of that, I'll talk to you about that in a second. No, I'll talk to you about that now. Before we get to the next slide, let's talk about that. Speaking of the wallpaper, how did you guys feel about, Jack X's exceptionals? Is that cool with you guys? Was that cool? I thought it was fun to kind of reveal it that way and show it off a little bit. But if that makes it feel like diminished as a collector's item, I understand that. But I'm not exactly like giving out the wallpaper, right? It's just like a puzzle piece PNG. Like I didn't post the wallpaper. But I think that's a fun way to show it and kind of like, let people know what's going on behind the scenes. But on the other hand, if you guys are like, I'd rather keep that secret, that's like a tier 4, tier 5 thing. I get that too. I understand. There is an issue with memberships because there is no join button. Hey, that's weird. Uh-oh. I don't know how that works. I'm sorry. I've seen people join memberships this stream though, so maybe that's a localized issue. Okay, cool. I think it works as a nice preview and as a way to kind of still be inclusive to people who aren't necessarily don't want to drop the ludicrous amount of support it takes to get there, which thank you for doing that. But if you can't do that, don't do that. Don't worry about it. I think it's a fun way to kind of preview it for people and kind of show it off. So I think that's fun. I don't know. Not that I'm saying it's going to be a puzzle every time, but just finding creative ways to kind of like, you know, highlight the wallpaper for the month. I can't find the cancel button personally, and it says I'm not member to you, so I've been forcibly abducted in February. Haha, get fucked. You're stuck here. Ow! You're stuck here. Ow! I had a scab I didn't know was there on my arm, and I accidentally just got it when I tried to like itch my arm a little bit. Weird. Annoying. Okay, so here I am. Let me see. Ah, my knuckles. Well, at this point, fuck them. Okay, cool. Karma, true. Hold on, I gotta pop my sternum. Ah, okay. Zoe, back into it. Hey, you, thank you for 13 months. Good luck at work. Okay. Gun buddy. Do not worry. There will be so many cat pictures. I've got to pop every bone in my body real fast. That's wild, Peach Mango. I didn't know that's how that worked. Yeah, you guys don't pop your sternum. I like to loosen the parts where the ribs are connected in my sternum. You know, like you stretch all the way out and you hear this like crack, 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 crack. And then you stretch back in. It feels good. It feels good. It makes my whole like chest area feel loosened up and nice and like flexible. Uh-oh. Anyway, thank you for 13 months, you. Cosmic Collision, thank you for being a jackass for 8 months. I can't wait to throw my money at this man during the month instead of celebrating my 30th birthday and Valentine's Day with my husband. Oh, all right, hold on. Now, wait a minute. You better celebrate your 30th birthday and Valentine's Day with your husband instead. But thank you. I'm gonna ban you before we get to the merch segment so that you can't look at it. Eric, thanks for being an Axel. That feels like weirdly normal to say, like the name Eric. Like, hey Eric, welcome in. Thanks for being an Axel. Hey, how was the frat party, Eric? But thank you very much. Oh. Cosmic, thanks for being, thank you for, wow. Sorry, I was rubbing my forehead aggressively thinking. Thank you for being a glucose guardian. Didn't expect that this morning. That's kind of, yeah, good day to you as well. Thank you for the adoption. I will be there. I'm going to third wheel you and your husband's Valentine dinner. I will be there. I'm going to sit in and be like, hello, mother, father. I am your adult man. Child now. I have officially, legally been adopted. What is for dinner? Wild card, it would be a large, cool Komodo dragon or an alligator. An alligator would be cool as fuck. So yeah, wow. Thank you for the soup as well, by the way, wild card. And thank you for glucose guardianing, Cosmic Collision. I just had a Cosmic Collision in my skull, believe it or not. My 2 remaining brain cells just hit each other and created a supernova for a moment there. Fuck, I got thrown off course. What was I saying? What were we talking about? Fuck. So, I gotta read my notes. So thank you. Yeah, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? Hold on, I'm stalling. I'm buying time while my brain is eaten by itself. Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to talk about membership plans for February. Okay, Cool. Boop. Tan. So, this is wrong. Boop. Yippee! This is right. Okay, so I've got a couple membership plans for next month. Obviously, this is a little bit of a couple things. Well, hold off on the Holo Marches thing. Give me a second on that. I'll talk about that in a minute, so don't get your hopes up. I mean, do but don't. But take it with a grain of salt, okay? I'll talk about that in a second. Don't you worry about it. So, basically, here's the deal. Actually, let me put this down for a second. I'll put this slide down and put that little one poster down. I need to get real with you guys for a second. We need to get solemn. We need to get a little melancholy. Things are gonna get a little dark. It's a little sad. No, not really. But I do want to say that even before Annie, are you drawing? Thank you for being an Axel. Even before I left for Xenokuni, I was feeling the weight of a year of keeping up on cyclical things, and the monthly loop or timer that I have on a lot of things that I do was beginning to burn me out pretty bad. On top of obviously keeping up on just, having fun, creative, interesting streams and not making every stream, just the same thing, and trying to make sure every month I have something interesting to present or to show off, or I don't know, just a fun gimmick to do. That plus the monthly loop of, book club and a wallpaper and a voice pack and hand cam and cat pictures and sometimes a cat cam and sometimes a watch along and sometimes it got to the point where it's 7 to 8 of my days every month are taken up by a special event stream, which is fine. But that means 25% of my month immediately goes out the window to pre-planned content and leaves no room for spontaneity. And then that's not accounting for the amount of time that takes to plan those things and to buy things and set up things for those things. So a good half my month often went out the window immediately to just, okay, this is content I have to do every month. And it kind of started to get to the point where it started to feel a little stagnant to me, even though it was different every time. The formula was getting stagnant. So I will probably be giving myself a little bit more leeway on some things. Like book club might be, over the course of 2 months, or maybe VPs are a goofy VP, a serious VP, a goofy VP, a serious VP, or maybe sometimes it's a high production VP and it takes 2 months to get done. It depends. I will let you know so that you're not blindsided by those things as much as I'm able to, but I will be giving myself a little bit more leeway on those. One, so that we don't get bored of the formula. I don't want you guys to get bored. I don't want to get bored. But two, because I was definitely, it felt like every time I finished a project, there was 2 more on the horizon. And all of that on top of covers projects, which just breeds resentment from me towards the company. And I don't think that's fair to put that on them, the projects are something they're giving me as an opportunity, and to be mad about that because it interrupts my projects isn't really fair. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it's annoying, or sometimes it's something that feels more like an obligation than something I want to participate in. But most of the time it's an opportunity and something fun and interesting. And it was damn near impossible to already have 50% of my month gone to my own projects and then cover to be like, hey, here's a project. I'm like, shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna destroy the moon. I think that's the move. Yeah, that's the move. Anyway, so what I'm saying with all of this is that memberships might be a little bit less formulaic, and I think each monthly thing that was typically every month, I think we had a really good year, a really long run where we did it every month, and I was pushing it at basically maximum capacity all the time. It might not have looked like it, but behind the scenes, it was very busy all the time. So I will probably be slowing it down a little bit this year and trying to focus on quality over quantity. and making sure that I don't burn myself out. Some things I think aren't incredibly popular, like book club, but I love doing them. It gets me reading. It gets me like focusing on not brain rot content. That kind of lowers my attention span a bit, which I love that content, but I want to balance that with being able to like, you know, focus on long form content as well. So I'm still going to keep doing that just because I like doing it, even if it's not successful. And then voice packs, you know, I think I'm going to try to do every month, but we'll see. We'll see. There might be months where I'm like, hey, this one's going to be silly. Speaking of, I think this month, I know I talked about doing this last month, but I ran out of time while I was working on a lot of work for the government and a little bit of work for myself. But I want to do this month a voice pack that's more like viewer requested, right? So I'll probably put up in tier 4 and tier 5 a post that's like, hey, give me lines you want me to say. It can be any line, any goofy voice you want me to do. I'll even drag out the Ruze bow and let those little assholes out of their boxes if you want. And you suggest a line, tell me what goofy voice you want me to use for it, if you want me to do a voice, and I'll just say the line. And I think that's really easy. It saves me a lot of like writing time, editing time, and producing time. So yeah, I think that's a good compromise. I think that I'm gonna hold off on the next lore voice pack I was gonna do this month. One, because I'm really not hearing the Ruze bow much out here in Xenokuni. Two, I don't have a lot of time to work on that shit, so I can't really lend my body out. Sorry. I'm gonna shake him in the cardboard box. Do it, you won't. Do it, you won't. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do for the voice pack this month. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way because, I don't know, to suddenly like, to go from, you know, 5-6 different events every month to probably 3 or 4 might be a little jarring for you guys, and I didn't want to surprise you. Moving on. Let me have a little sip of my stamina potion here. Gimme. Nom. Oh, dude, the amount of government shit I've got to do. And sometimes it's really cool. Sometimes they just want me to see something. Sometimes they're like, hey, come check out this cool project. I'm like, do I have to go over there? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay. But I try to be a good sport about it. I try to keep in mind, like, this is an opportunity and it's exciting, and I'll look back on this and be like, yay, that was cool. But in the moment, it could feel very much like I'm working right now. Can you leave me alone? Hey, no problem, gamers. If I wasn't transparent, then you guys would just be like, what the hell's going on? What are you doing? What is today's stream gonna be? Oh, believe it or not, it's just a yapping stream. We're already in the middle of it. Speaking of which, bam! Check that out. So, membership. This is what I'm planning for the month of February. First of all, let me get this out of the way now. Tier 5. The thank yous are delayed, but not forgotten. I will get those out to you for January soon. Thank you for your patience. So, in January, I did the Zephyr wallpapers, which was really cool. That was fun. I've already kind of talked about this, but I would like to, for tier 4 this month, do a voice line request thing. So you just submit things for me to say. Obviously, please don't make it related to an IP. Don't say like, don't make me say like, Sonic, stop punching that orphan, because then I'd probably get in trouble and nobody would like that. Does this also include the thank you cards? Necronomicon, this does not include the thank you cards. I think I should be able to get those done every month. I mean, that was definitely one of the projects that was, it got delayed a lot, unfortunately. I ended up always doing that, I feel like 2 days late, because I was constantly putting it on the back burner for the other projects, which is a shame, because I try to be really creative with those too. But I don't think, I don't know. I don't think those should have a delay. I think that those are, I mean, they usually take a day or two to get done because sometimes it takes setup, like setting up the, you know, the Clayzators or blowing up all those balloons and making personalized notes on them and stuff. Sometimes it takes a while, but for the most part, I think it's pretty manageable. No speeches from Lord of the Rings. Honestly, I think I could get away with a little Lord of the Rings speech. Just don't make me say anybody's name specifically if you can help it. No IP names, please and thank you. Okay, cool. So yeah, I did a Zephyr wallpaper, show that off on hand cam, obviously, which I thought was a lot of fun, a little goofy. I do want to just say, future reference, with those tier 4 wallpapers, those are your guys's. Obviously, feel free to do what you want with that, like print it on a puzzle. You could do a mouse pad, a wall scroll. I really don't care what you do with it as long as you don't sell it. Don't sell it to somebody else. That is not okay. Otherwise, those are your wallpapers. Have fun. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Yeah, just replace every Lord of the Rings name with the name Eric. Eric of Isengard. Eric the Grey. Eric of Many Colors. He's the one. Yeah, so that's tier 4. Tier 3. I am going to do daily Val Nyantine's cat pictures for the rest of this month, every day. And speaking of, I'll drop one later today. I dropped one yesterday as well. Keep an eye out for that. There'll be pictures of my cats mixed up with like cats I find in Xenokuni or I meet in Xenokuni. So that should be fun. So if you guys like cat content, congratulations. There's going to be a lot of it. I do want to mix something else up in there, but I don't know what yet. So I don't know. Keep an ear out, I guess. Because that tier was also supposed to be for like life updates and my JP journey. And my JP journey has not been going incredibly smoothly since I've been focusing on so many other things. But we'll see. How are the boys in Little Lady? They seem to be doing really well. I keep looking at my cat cam and seeing them running around. It seems like Methuselah's integrating okay as well. Mihawk of Pirates of the Pacific fame. Mihawk of Pirates of the Pacific fame. Yep, that's definitely where you're from and not Two Piece. Susu, thanks for being an asshole. Mihawk, thanks for being an asshole as well.
Welcome. Enjoy the cat pictures.
Tier 2. So I would like to get back to doing tier 2 Minchies, you know, like yapping Minchies and things like that. The reason all of my JP stories are going to be talked about today, Crazy Cat Lady, what an apt fucking name. What an incredibly appropriate name you have.
That's incredible.
I want to get back to doing membership streams for tier 2. It's just, sometimes I struggle with the pull between, I want to make tier 2. I want to give you guys something for being tier 2 and supporting me, but I don't want to hide things behind a paywall if it's like something I want to be out and about and open. Like for example, I'm going to be talking about a lot of JP stories today, and I could have kept that behind a Minchi, but I don't know. Like, I feel like everybody kind of probably wants to hear about that, and I don't want that to be something you can't talk about outside of memberships or whatever. And also, if clippers want to get a hold of them, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard sometimes, but I'll try to have more dedicated tier 2, at least yapping streams, if nothing else. Or maybe I could do like, I feel like maybe I could do like more HoloMarches content that way, like just have like a monthly like design a monster type of deal. I think could be fun. Like we work together and just like maybe we put up a magnet board and we all work on a monster that I talk about while we design a D&D monster or some shit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, something like that. I will probably look at a user submitted map as well. I know that you guys have used the HoloMarches hashtag to submit some user generated content that you guys have worked on, different maps and stuff you've made, battle maps and designs for monsters. And I kind of want to look at those. So maybe that could be a cool tier 2 idea. I don't know. Oh, and I did start the book club for Cunning Folk. I've been reading through that. I've only really made it to like chapter 2, which doesn't sound impressive, but there's only like 5 chapters in this book because they're very long chapters. I made it to chapter 2, but oh boy, content warning. I did not know it was like this. They start talking about love potions and love spells, and I don't read this book if you're not an adult. Thanks. It turns out people got some fucked shit for love potions and love spells. I learned that the hard way reading through chapter 2. I was like, oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, the fish. Okay, cool. So I'm glad you already got to that part. Great. So if you're not an adult, don't read this book. Thank you. Now I know. Interesting indeed. It didn't get super spicy. It just kind of caught me. It's like when someone drops some shit you were like, whoa, maybe that's not for public conversation type of shit, just out of nowhere. They just drop it on you. It felt like that. I was like, whoa, all right. Just explicit, mostly just explicit, nothing super disturbing. Just like, oh, okay, interesting. I mean, like, it's a little disturbing in practice, but it's just explicit as far as the book. The book is very just like dry about it. Like, here is what people did. And I'm like, oh, yucky. Good to know. Anyway, I will be continuing reading this book into next month. I will finish this book and then we'll talk about it. And we could talk about whatever, I guess. What's the genre? There is no genre. It's technically nonfiction. It is a book about people who practiced it's a book about the cunning folk, which is like the in-between between like clerics and witches, right? And I'm not talking about classes in an RPG. I mean in like life. So on the one end of the magic people spectrum, you had clerics who were religious folk who would do miracles or spell work in the name of God or whatever. And then on the far end, you had witches who were like, oh, we're using dark magic and evil magic or whatever. Not that they actually did that. It's just what they were accused of. Welcome to History 101. And then in between, you had cunning folk or common magic, which is like people who would help you find lost things or track down thieves or tell you what days are good days to start a journey or whether or not you're going to fall in love. It was like considered harmless or helpful magic in some way that was not illegal or banned by the church. And it was just a part of everyday life, I guess, around like anywhere from 1300s to 1600s. It was so believed in that even members of like, you know, the government or the church themselves would seek out these cunning folk and ask for their help. Like it was considered just a type of science. So it was interesting. It's interesting to read about for sure. End of the month or middle of the month book club? Probably closer to end of the month because I need time to read. So yeah, let's call it history, sure. It's the history of magic, or the practice and belief in magic. Obviously, your mileage may vary depending on what you believe. I am a natural skeptic, but that does not mean that I do not enjoy the concept and the cultural impact of magic. Non, thanks for being an asshole.
Welcome. Enjoy the cat content.
So yeah, that's the plan. There is no deadline yet on this. I do not know when I'm going to be done with it just yet. But anyway. That's incredible, Jojo BB. The more you know. Once you're done with this book, can we suggest books for the next one? Yeah, for sure. I've been meaning to get around to a couple different novels. I am still considering a couple fiction novels, but I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. And my comfort zone is typically like fantasy novels and or some sort of adventure book, right? Like I've been looking at maybe getting into like Caiaphas Cain or I still need to finish the Wheel of Time series. But those are very much in my comfort zone, so I'm trying to break out of it just a little bit. All right, that's enough of this. Hold on. So, how long have I... Oh my God, I've already been going for almost an hour. Oh no, I gotta speed up just a little bit. So let's talk about plans for next month, since I already spoiled that one and accidentally like Ruze Holland that shit. Dracula was really good. I enjoyed that book a lot. Have I ever read Mark Twain's books? I have not sat down and read them. I heard about them a lot growing up because Mark Twain was very popular where I was. But yeah, that's about it. You know what's wild is I watched was Huckleberry Finn. Was that a Mark Twain novel? I can't remember. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Is that Mark Twain? Happy 13 months. Escape here. Happy 13. Happy 413, more like. Got him. Okay, so Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn. Definitely a little bit before my time, but that's okay. I heard about it a lot growing up. I heard that it was really good or whatever, though obviously somewhat problematic in today's modern context. But I recently was like, you know what I want to do? I want to watch some retro fucking old movies. I want to watch some of those like fucking like, what's the movie called? The one with the kid, Home Alone. I was like, I want to watch like movies that are like in the genre of like VHS fucking retro old like movies, because I feel like that kind of media just does not get produced anymore. So I was like, I'm gonna look around for an old retro movie, and I found a movie. I think it was just called Huckleberry, or maybe it was called Huckleberry Finn, and I think it was Elijah Wood in it as a kid, like a baby Elijah Wood, which is wild. I didn't even know he had been an actor when he was a baby, which is crazy. So I watched that. And holy shit, I thought it was going to be like a fun, goofy, like child movie romp. It was not a fun, goofy child movie romp. Not sorry. Listen, okay, guys, 30 years ago is retro at this point, okay? As somebody who's like a couple 100 years old, it's retro. Let's just accept that and be normal. It's okay. It's okay to say that. Nah, it wasn't. It dealt with some really heavy shit. But having watched the Adventures of Huck Finn, that's what I watched. Yeah, I had never seen it as a kid or anything. But having watched that now, I was like, we don't really make movies like this anymore. And what I mean by that is movies that are presented in a lighthearted, somewhat childish way that also deliver heavy commentary and messages and lessons to be learned in a way that still respects a child's ability to learn those lessons, if that makes sense, right? I'm like, damn, that just does not exist, period, which is very frustrating. Yeah, things like Terabithia or The Adventures of Huck Finn. I'm trying to think if there's any other movies I could think of. Like, I guess there was this time in like, it was the 90s or the 2000s or something, where there was a lot of media being produced that was for children, but still presented important moral lessons, right? That does not exist anymore, I feel like. It does still happen once in a while, but it is A, always an animated format, and B, typically made in such a way that is meant to be as unchallenging and massively appealing as possible, which is a little annoying. Yeah, corporations are obsessed with playing things super safe. Yeah, the adult humor is less what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I know there's a lot of wink adult humor in like 90s and 2000s cartoons and shows, and that's fine. That's funny. I do still think that happens pretty not frequently, but frequently enough. What I mean is like The Adventures of Huck Finn. At some point, spoilers, a child dies on screen, like right off screen, and you watch him die in Huck Finn's arms, like Huckleberry's arms. And it's because of a family feud. Like, these two families are fighting each other in like old school, like America, when family feuds could get like generational and violent and turn into like shootouts. And some kid gets like this sort of like radicalized, indoctrinated mentality about why he should hate this other family. And he doesn't even know. Like Huck Finn talks to him about it. And he's like, well, why do you hate him? And he's like, I don't know. My dad hates him. And it's just, he dies for a battle that isn't even his in a tragic fight that he thinks is going to be awesome, and then he realizes how scary it is to be in a gunfight. And that's a harsh lesson for a kid to learn, to put on TV or put on a VHS, I guess. I'm like, damn, dude, they would never ever present this in modern media, which is wild. You're welcome, Zuna. I'm sorry I did that to you. Thank you for the soup. Yeah, I thought it was about a nice adventure too. It's not. It's not. It touches on a lot of even things that are couched in comedy or like laughter. Like the two main characters are Huckleberry Finn and basically what's happening is Huckleberry Finn is traveling with a runaway slave. They're trying to find the man's wife and child, but Huckleberry Finn is struggling with the morality of what he's been taught versus being friends with this guy. He's been taught that this guy should be turned in and that he's doing something morally wrong and illegal. But what he is witnessing is a man trying desperately to find his loved ones who is searching for a better life. So as a 9-year-old boy, this struggle is insane. And it's interesting to present that in a somewhat comedic childish light because he's processing it through the mind of a child. He's like, oh, well, I've been told this is wrong type of deal, right? But on the other hand, he's trying to learn true morality through himself. And that's wild. I'm like, damn, dude, that's pretty fucking interesting. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about those old movies that I feel like, I watched a lot as like a baby that modern media just doesn't capture or is too afraid to capture. Especially children's media. Oh, E.T. Yeah, I think I watched that. I'm pretty sure I watched it as a kid. I don't remember it very well. I should rewatch that at some point. By saying interesting, do you mean you recommend it or not? Chaco, I recommend it if you can deal with the reality of how horrific that time period was for basically everybody living in it, but especially for marginalized people. So, yes, but it doesn't sugarcoat it. So I would say I recommend it to a degree. Oh, Never Ending Story. Within the last 4 years, I think I rewatched that because I don't think I ever watched it all the way through as a kid. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Oh, Secret of Nim, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, some of that is just nostalgia talking. Some of that's like, oh, well, media was better back then because nostalgia. No, I don't think that's true. I think that there is a critical eye you can turn toward media now and a critical eye you can turn toward media then. And a lot of media then was shit too. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of really garbage, trash movies, trash shows. That's true of every era of media, period. But I think that corporations played it a lot less safe then and talked down to children less to a degree. There was definitely still a lot of talking down to kids. I mean, fucking what was it? What's a kids media franchise that was pretty brain rot? I don't know. Fucking Teletubbies, I guess. Sure. That was very talks down to children, but it was also made for babies, right? So it's okay. I mean, who cares? I like your cut, G. Ruze yapping and D&D prep complement each other well. Let's go, Eggman. Let's go. Exactly, thy horse. I feel like old media has the benefit of the fact that we only remember the good ones, so it appears that everything we remember is good. That is true. Obviously, you filter the bad out in your mind because it was forgettable or bad. So it seems like everything in the past was good. But what I'm saying is that there are gems, many of them, that you just could not find today. Yeah, I think it's hard to. So the thing is, it's very subjective, the context of what we're talking about. We've gotten way off track. That's fine. We'll hop back into track. I like these. I like just yapping about things during these a lot. I think we've gotten. It's hard to argue the point that media has gotten dumbed down for children because it is a very subjective thing to say. And obviously, with the way media is today and how much influence it has over not just children, but adults. I think a lot of adults would be embarrassed and reticent to admit how much media influences their like thought patterns. It can be dangerous sometimes to use media to deliver a message. However, I do think the point of media has always been and will always be telling a story, and stories are about imparting a message almost every time. So if your media does not impart some message or some lesson or some like think piece to like mull over, it is not, in my opinion, worthwhile media. Sometimes it could be, goofy, just, sugar rush media, and that's fine. Like a cool fight scene in an anime. Fuck, I'll eat that up, brother. But cool fight scenes with emotional stakes behind them, that always trumps just cool fight scenes. I think there's this big push nowadays. Especially, okay, I gotta be careful with what I say here. Hold on. I gotta be careful with what I say here because obviously my views do not reflect Cover's views, and what I say is my opinion. I think there is a big push, especially online, for people to say, we don't need lessons in our video games. We don't need lessons in our media. Stop trying to push your agenda or whatever. And to that, I say there's always been lessons and stories and commentary in your media. You were just too stupid to see it. It is still there. It will always be there. Whether you agree with it or not is fine. You could still enjoy that media and just not agree with a lesson or message. That's fucking normal. I know that's hard to stomach, and we all need our little safe spaces or whatever where we don't get the lesson we want. Sorry, I'm getting a little salty. Let me back up. What I mean is, if you don't like the lesson in the media you're consuming, you can always just, use that to inform and hone your own opinions rather than crying online that your media is not specifically to your taste. That's what I mean. So yeah. Anyway, I think we need more, not less lessons in our media. And if it ever gets to a point where it feels like it's just brainwash content, it's trying to force your opinion down one direction, good. That's not a bad thing. It means you're looking at it with a critical eye, and you should do that. You should never blindly accept messages in media, but you should let it inform how you think and what you think about. Damn straight, Cosmic Collision. Static Shock touched on a lot of really heavy stuff, but in a way that was still important to the narrative and still somewhat lighthearted, but respectful to the audience and the gravity of those topics. People are too black and white in their judgment, but that's because people have always been that way, because it's very simple to want a boogeyman or a bad guy or to paint a, like, this is the good team, this is the bad team, I'm on the good team. It is much easier to live your life that way. Because critical thought is hard, and to admit that you could be in the wrong is hard. Or even just to like adopt new ideas or new ways of thinking is difficult. That's humanity. Will always be that way. Hopefully enough people grow out of it and become adults at some point in their lives. I've met a lot of 50, 60, 70, 40, 30, 20 plus year olds who think they're adults, but still think like toddlers. And that is frustrating to deal with. People who just do not have the critical thinking skills to be considered an adult. But that's okay. That's okay. It's all part of growing up. I mean, we're all growing up all the time, no matter how old we are. We're all learning. Hopefully they get to a point where they can, kind of do a bit of self-review. I feel attacked by my toddler mentality. Brother, I still buy plushies and obsess over like Pokemon builds, so don't worry about it. It's all right. Hell yeah, brother. Can I adopt you? No, I'm sorry. Oh no! People can learn and change even at the end of their lives because I've seen it happen. True. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older. Oh, reading that message made me older. I've got to stop doing everything. I've got to hit a stasis point where I do nothing and think nothing, and then I won't age. Nah, I'm just kidding. I understand. Thank you for shooting your shot. All right, you can adopt me, but it's going to be 12 billion doll hairs. Oh, now that's a good point. That's an interesting point. Tired Blob says, people say there's less media or spaces specifically for tweens/teens. That may also be a factor. So yeah, what's interesting, I think, is the internet is, it has created a very strange space where media that was previously very separated between like adults, teenagers, and children has kind of conglomerated into one singular mass space. There's no safe space for anybody, right? There's no safe space to be an adult because you can't fucking weed out the people who ignore the rules and go into adult spaces. So you have to be careful constantly about what you're saying or what you're doing. And that's, I mean, you should be careful about those things, obviously. But on the other hand, there's no safe space to be a teenager because you could be leaking in adults or children. There's no safe space to be a child because adults and teenagers have a lot of like overlap with that shit. Like Bluey is made for children, right? Bluey is made for kids to consume. And it's not a bad thing that adults consume that. There's lessons to be learned in that. It's written with a relatively mature lens from what I know. I haven't watched it, but I hear it's good. But where that previously would have been just like a show that pretty much only kids watch and nobody really talks about online, and it's just on like at a kid's hour, it is now something that is just more content to be consumed. So a lot of adults watch it, a lot of teenagers watch it, and then they have opinions and thoughts and things they want to say about it, and they want to influence it, and they want it to go a certain way that they want it to go. And that is creating a very weird melting pot where it is hard, from experience as somebody who grew up on the internet, it is hard to be a kid on the internet and not in some way interface with adults and teenagers and media that is made for them, but your media is also influenced by them, which is difficult. Yeah. I don't know. It makes it a really weird melting pot that makes it hard, I feel like, to delineate the space between, like, where it's like fucking Roblox is an example, right? Roblox is an example of something that was made for children, and it is still fun. It's a fun game, and I get why people play it. But it's hard to like be like, I see so many clips online of people like, I don't know, like just saying shit or doing shit they probably shouldn't be doing in a space with a bunch of kids in it. And I'm like, I don't know, man, like maybe that one is just for the kids, or maybe there should be like servers or worlds where it's just adults. But as somebody who doesn't play Roblox, it is hard for me to, it's hard for me to really put like a genuine thought into that, right? That's just me giving opinions on things where I have no space to give an opinion. But on the other hand, as somebody who did play, you know, kids games, I'm like, man, I guess it would have been weird if there was a bunch of people running around saying shit they probably shouldn't be saying, or talking about stuff that kids shouldn't be talking about on these games that I was playing growing up. I think a lot of that is parents not supervising their kids, but in defense of parents, as a non-parent, I do understand that it would probably be very difficult to 24/7 supervise what your kid is doing. Like, imagine right now that you said, okay, I'm going to set aside 2 hours to watch what the fuck my kid is doing online. Like, that's a nightmare. That sucks. I would hate doing that. That would fucking be hell. Don't get me wrong, it's not that hard to like every 20-30 minutes go check over their fucking shoulder and make sure they're not talking to some 40-year-old dude or some shit, or going to websites they shouldn't be on, or playing games they shouldn't be. You should be doing that. That's bare minimum as a parent. But on the other hand, constantly, genuinely, I mean, I was a kid on the internet. I got up to shit I shouldn't have got up to. I talked to people I shouldn't have talked to. It's hard. It's hard to keep an eye on your kids like that. Like, it's the fucking Wild West on the internet. You can do whatever you want, and it's not that hard to like switch tabs or alt tab or whatever it is that you need to do to like hide it if you're smart enough to do that. That is a difficult thing as a parent, and you can try to impart as many lessons as you want about like how to be safe on the internet. It'll work sometimes, and you should try to do that, but it's not a perfect thing. So I try to give parents some leeway. Like, I don't think that like iPad moms are in the right to give their kid an iPad on the train, like full volume 24/7. That's stupid and teaches the kid no lessons. But on the other hand, I do think it's difficult to genuinely wrangle a child on the internet. Like, that sounds really difficult. I'm really glad not to be a parent, especially in this era. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, this is interesting from like a theoretical standpoint. I'm going to pull the conversation here because I have no vested stock in this, right? It's interesting from like a think piece standpoint, as in like, must be tough growing up right now. But on the other hand, I'm an adult man, so sorry, that's hard. That's hard for you. I apologize. If anybody's growing up in this era, it's got to be weird, but every era is weird to grow up in. So that's tough. I hope everybody figures it out. I hope people do a good job as parents, but I can't give any advice there because I don't have any experience in that. And while I have obviously my opinions and my thoughts, I don't know, what are those worth? Everybody's got opinions and thoughts, right? It's interesting to contemplate like how difficult it must be right now, but on the other hand, I am not the person to give advice or knowledge. I don't know, in that space. So I'm gonna drop that. But I do want to talk about the next thing. So we got a little off topic. We went from like interesting childhood media to the weird like era of growing up now or parenting now, which is also, I'm sure, very difficult. I can give cat parenting advice. It's never been easier, everybody. It's never been easier. Don't have kids, have cats. It's all, the cats don't want to be on the internet. Cats don't care. It's great. It's great. And here's a pro cat tip. You guys want a pro cat tip? Let me hit you with this one. Cat tip. Stop using litter. Start using condensed wood chip pellets that people use as horse bedding. Smells better, absorbs better. It's cheaper. You can buy it in huge bags. Boom, bam, boom. You're welcome. You're welcome. I've been doing that for like 4 years. It's great. Maybe 3 years. I don't know. Whatever. Really. You could buy them in huge bags, super cheap. Go down to like a fucking, I don't know, I don't fucking know, Tractor Supply, if you have that. Sorry, I mean a wagon supply. I guess I shouldn't be saying like actual brand names. My bad. You guys want to talk about, all right, we've talked a lot about the past. Here's, oh God, that's a smooth transition. God damn. Okay, Ruze, you clean with it. All right, we've talked a lot. Hey everybody, welcome to my podcast. We've talked a lot about the past. Now let's talk about the future. Okay, here you go. Plans for next month. Ta-da! So, I've got a couple things to talk about in regards to next month. Specifically, I lost my window. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so, thank you. Plans for next month. I would like to keep working on my scavenger hunt bingo. I am on the hunt for stuff. I compiled all of your bingos into a list, so I'll share the results of that after this trip. But basically what I did was I took all of your answers. I marked down which ones were suggested most often and put them at the top of the list, and then I went down, basically. I will try to do the actual bingo sheet. I'll let you know how many bingos I ended up getting in total at the end of this trip. So don't worry about that. I just know what I'm looking for. Cool? Cool. Hollow Marches Session 3 off collab. I am working on that. I do not know exactly what it's going to look like, but I got an okay from ding, 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 ding. All of the Armus boys, at least. So I will try to get that sorted out. I am debating on a date still. I think I've got it locked in. I'm not going to give you one yet. I wanted to give it to you today, but I'm afraid that it seems a little bit, it feels a little rocky right now. It feels a little bit like there's the possibility someone might be like, oh, well, I don't know if I can make it that day, actually. There's a lot of that going around right now where people are like, yes. And then, 2 days out are like, actually, so I need to make sure that that is 100% locked in before I give you the go ahead on that. I would like to beat Tavern Manager Simulator. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. I would like to get that done this month. There's the HOLOSTARS Balatro tournament going on right now, which is very exciting. Currently, the only person who has submitted a high score is Axel, who submitted an insanely high score. I don't think we're going by high score, though. I think we're going by ante, because if we go by high score, Axel will win every time. I would have to get to like ante 18 to match that or something goofy, but maybe I'll try. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll go by high score. That could be funny. Does Tavern Manager have an ending? Oh. I saw in a lot of reviews that it was like 8 hours of gameplay, so probably. I don't know. If there's no ending, it's just whenever I fully upgrade the tavern. That's what I'll consider it over, as far as I'm concerned. The power of scamming. Hacks. He really did get the best deck. That dude's got insane luck. Fuck that guy. Anime Impulse meet and greet. That is soon, very soon. So I will see you there. Get excited for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I am excited to do that. That is actually coming up a lot faster than I thought. I need to get some homework done. That's okay. That's okay. Soon, very soon. Look at that huge hand. That hand's not huge. That's perspective, baby. I'm holding it up to you. Relax. You think it's a huge paper too? You think this paper's from the top of my head down to my fucking belly button? Hell no, brother. That's perspective. You're welcome. Just now learning how to see in 3D. What's wrong with you? Would you come from a 2D plane? Anime Impulse, come to the East Coast. I'm begging. Sadly, it's in LA. It's too far for me. Well, start walking. You might make it in time. You don't know. Ignore my yaoi yan. Just look at this paper, all right? Look at the paper. Look at the paper and shut up. But the most exciting thing this month for me is that Civilization 7 and Monster Hunter Wilds will be releasing this month. I have perms for neither of those yet. I'm really jealous of all the people streaming Civ 7 right now. I want to play it really bad. I'm not like insanely invested in Civ Meyer Civilization. I did not grow up playing it, but I started playing it on PlayStation. No, Xbox. I don't know. I know I started with Civ 5. I think it was 5. I played it with my little brother and my older sister sometimes, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. I've never been good at it. I've never researched it. I've never looked up like builds or skills or anything like that. So when I do inevitably play this game, it's going to be like somebody with enough knowledge to know how to play the game, but not enough to know how the game works. And I don't want to be corrected about that. I don't want to know the meta. I don't want to know what's good. I just want to build cool cities and kill people. I think that's funny. But yeah, I actually did not start on PC. I started on console. Yeah. Will I play Monster Hunter Wilds with the Rusaders? I guess so. I think that's allowed, right? I will play Monster Hunter Wilds with the Crusaders on one stipulation, and I'll put it in the chat when I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds, and it is that you have to wear armor and use weapons that are of the tier I'm at. I will not tolerate being carried in those games. I can't stand it. There's nothing that turns someone away from Monster Hunter more than your buddy being like, don't worry, bro, I'll play with you. And then he's in like fucking Xenogina fucking in-game bullshit ass gear, rocking that fucking Fatalis like Mark 7 full like slotted gems. Like, nah, nobody wants to do that. 2 shots your monster. Like, I'm good. And you have to wear pants. That's true. You also have to wear pants when you're playing with me, or else I will ban you from the lobby immediately. I've never played Monster Hunter before. I like playing Monster Hunter with new players more than veterans. Veterans are fun to play with because everybody knows what's going on, but it's usually just this quiet like focus of we're all just goofing around playing the game and we all know what we're doing. Playing with new players is fun because they make goofy mistakes and try to like figure out the game live, and that could be funny. I never played it. I think Wilds is going to be a good place to jump. You know what? Let's talk about Monster Hunter a little bit, and then I'll finish up the rest of what I need to get done for actual resolve here, and then we'll talk about JP stories. Deal. Here's the thing about Monster Hunter Wilds. Hold on, let me think about what I'm saying before I say it. I love Monster Hunter as a franchise. I really, really like Monster Hunter. I started with Try Ultimate on the Wii U, and it was super fucking fun. At first, I hated it because I didn't know what was going on, and I felt like it was just a button mashy bullshit game that didn't really like make any sense. And then I came back to it after like 2 months of giving it a break because I was bored, and I fell in love with it. Let's go, Eggman. I loved that game. I even loved the underwater combat, I guess because I hadn't played the first 2 games, so I didn't have a set opinion on how it should play. So to me, it didn't feel clunky. It just felt like, okay, I'm just having a good time. Like, it doesn't bother me. But I really liked 4, but didn't play it a ton, but I really liked it. And then when World came out, I enjoyed it, but I was nervous about the direction Monster Hunter was taking. And that is compounded and a little bit vindicated with Wilds. There are things I really don't like about Wilds, and there are things I do like. And before everybody gets up in arms, I am all about accessibility and making a franchise more approachable to new players. But I do not like oversimplification and the removal of flavor in exchange for streamlining, right? A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, go back and play old Monster Hunter then. You'll quickly realize how much you hated farming materials and prepping for... No, I didn't. I really loved that, actually. I genuinely enjoyed that. I genuinely enjoyed going on quests where I did not fight a monster. I just gathered materials. I chatted with my buddies. I mined shit. I did some fishing. That was fun to me. That was the MMO, like, that's essentially like grinding up my job classes in MMO, right? Rather than my combat classes. That was fun to me. Taking that out is, to me, a detriment to the flavor of being a monster hunter. You're a monster killer still. You just show up and beat monsters, but you're a superhero now. You're not a hunter who like prepares and gets like specific gear to fight this monster and specific potions for this monster and like the ability to track them and prepping with food that you need for this monster. You are now just a guy who is super powered and goes out and beats the shit out of monsters, which is fine. If that's the direction they want to go, I get it. I feel like it loses a lot of its flavor, and that's a shame, but so be it. Just make this stuff opt in, opt out. I think MMOs have tried that. It doesn't work. If you make it opt in, opt out, the answer is that 99% of the player base will opt out, and you're a fool for opting in, and you're inherently dragging people down if you play multiplayer and you opt in. Now, if you play solo all the time, it's whatever. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You could go with the old, like, the fucking, what was it, Doom? The Doom devs are like, you're in control of what buttons you push. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's true, I guess. But giving people the option to opt out means that almost everybody will opt out, which is fine. I get it. I understand. But having lived through the oversimplification of MMOs and watched how that went, I am currently afraid I'm watching that happen to Monster Hunter. But here's the other side of things. I am insanely excited for Wilds. The combat seems more tuned than it has ever been before. The weapons are streamlined. The actual like monster design is so incredibly cool. The area design being like a full big 3D map. One of the areas being hyper vertical. Super awesome conceptually. I think it's going to be so fun to play the 70% of the game that is the meat and potatoes of Monster Hunter. I am just sad that the 30% that was flavor and downtime and sort of like the time to contemplate and rest and think about the game, that's gone. That makes me sad. Also, I will admit that the weapons are a little too easy to use. From my time in the beta, I'm like, okay, like I don't feel like you're punished enough with dual swords, just like you weren't in World, and that's a shame. But so be it. I still miss the village farm from old games. Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, okay, Vampish Mick, when I say too easy, I mean, you watched me kill, on the beta, I killed the apex of that area solo. After Octavio left when we were done playing, I went and killed the beta solo with level 1 gear. Or not beta, the alpha of that area. I did what is the equivalent of going to fight Anjanath with level 0 gear. I shouldn't be doing that. I am not an expert at Monster Hunter. I'm not a speedrunner. I do hope the collabs will be easier. I agree. Angel Avenger. And I think they've learned their lesson from World and will make it much simpler. Yeah, like I've never been somebody. Here's the reality of me and Monster Hunter. I have never been somebody who's ever made it to the actual end game, right? Like, I've never fought Fatalis. I played World pretty far in. I think the furthest I got was beating Valhazak. I played 3U pretty far in, but I never went to like the full end game. And I have never been somebody who like naked runs Fatalis, right? Because I don't find joy in playing games to the point where I've honed it down to a perfect science. I get why people like that. That's not my thing. So from the position of somebody who's not even that insanely invested in the difficulty of this game, I can feel it getting easier every generation. And to the point where now things like dual swords, which used to be my main weapons, just feel brainless. It feels very much like I'm just hitting buttons and my character will move out of the way for me. Like I do not have to worry about the monster because I barely have to press dodge. I just attack and my character keeps moving. It's like, okay, I guess. I mean, it's fun, but it's very much like, it feels very much like performative. Like the game's rewarding me for putting in a quarter of the effort I used to have to. The young Kutku. I hear Kutku is a lot of people's first wall. My first wall was Gravios. Is that the right name? I think it was Gravios. He's like the big stone dragon, right? Trying to fight that with dual swords in Monster Hunter 3U was the worst experience I've ever had. It sucked. It has very few weak points, and the dual swords are not good at punching through armor. Yeah, I agree with him. Yeah, the bounce off. The bounce off was brutal in that fight. I think I ended up having to switch to bow for that fight. I don't know if I ended up beating Barioth. Gravios. I think I got like walled against him for so long. Actually, Barioth was another big, Baroth was another big wall for me on dual swords. It was definitely a little bit of an effort to get past him. I think that might have been the first time I carded in Monster Hunter. Well, not counting when I was completely new and I carded like 4 times to fucking Great Jaggy. Gravios isn't in 3U. Do you mean Uragon? Maybe I'm talking about 4. I remember fighting Gravios and being very frustrated with dual blades at some point, but now I don't remember which Monster Hunter it was. In 3U, it might have been Baroth that I walled against first. Odogaron is my bane as a hammer main. Odogaron's the red dog, right? He's pretty cool. I like fighting him. He's a lot of fun. What was your first weapon in your first Monster Hunter game, though? Technically, it was the Greatsword, because I didn't know you could change weapons for the first while. But then it was Sword and Shield, because I loved Link. And then it was Dual Swords. Dude, Great Jaggy was so cool. Great Jaggy was so cool. I love Great Jaggy. Very cool monster. I think 3U, my favorite monster was still... well, I don't know if I have a favorite monster. I like Lagiacres a lot. Barioth is always really cool. I think my favorite overall monster is Barioth. I liked Great Jaggy a lot. I know in Royal Ludroth might have been my favorite. See you later, Thorn. Yeah, I think the issue I have with current Monster Hunter is that it doesn't feel like you get countered by I don't feel like you get walled anymore, right? Like, because dual swords, this is from somebody who is a dual swords main, I understand that, like, I talk about them a lot, but it's because that was my main weapon for a long time. So it is easy for me to see how it has changed over time. It used to be a weapon with very short range, very high potential output of damage and or status effect, but a lot of shortcomings in that it was very committal to the attacks, and it was very short range and very hard to punch through armor. That was the problem with those, right? So you tended to struggle against like really heavy wall, like tank type enemies with very high hitboxes. So, you know, most of the stone monsters you would struggle against. Where now it's like, okay, well, just lure them over near a wall and jump off and do your buzzsaw, and lure them over near a wall and jump off and do your buzzsaw, or like rope over to them and do your buzzsaw. And even more so in Wilds, I feel like hitboxes are just very forgiving, and the ability to tear through armor for wounded points makes it even more forgiving. So, you know, take it or leave it. I think that power levels are up, and maybe the monsters aren't keeping up is the problem. I think the monsters need to be faster, more aggressive, and more dangerous and unpredictable if players are going to be as fast and as powerful as we are. What Monster Hunter game would you recommend for a first-timer? I didn't realize there were so many of them. Play World or Wilds first. That'll be the easiest entry point. They are definitely the easiest Monster Hunter has ever been. And I don't mean that as a derogatory thing, but they are as easy as Monster Hunter has ever been. They've gotten rid of a lot of the bloat of the game, which I liked. You probably won't. What do I think about weapon swapping? It's cool. I don't hate it. I think weapon swapping would be a much more interesting mechanic without camps. I think World's ability to just swap weapons mid-run to anything you want, and Wild's capitalizing on that even more, is, I think that's a bad thing. I don't like that that exists at all. I think it should be gone, but I would much prefer Wild's, like, you get 2 weapons at the beginning of a mission, pick between them, you know, mid-fight. That's cool. That's interesting to me. I would prefer that 100% over the swap weapons and armor whenever you want in camp mechanic. But it has both, so it changes nothing to me. We can give the benefit of the doubt to Wilds, though. We only fought 3 or 4 monsters. I think I'm going to love Monster Hunter Wilds. I think I'm going to love that game. It's going to be super fucking fun. I think I'm going to play the shit out of it for a long time, just like I did Worlds. And I think I will walk away with the exact same thought I had about Worlds, which is this game is very fun. It doesn't feel like Monster Hunter to me right now. I still love the game. I love World. I think Monster Hunter World was such an incredible game. Visually, so good. Like, environment design, so good. Monster design, so good. Weapon design, it did. Later on, it was good. June, thank you for 11 months. But I think Wilds is very much going in the same direction. And I think it's the natural evolution of Monster Hunter. Like, Worlds brought in so many players to what was, people have trouble remembering this, originally a relatively, like, cult classic type of game. Monster Hunter was not always as popular as it is now. There was a time when it was very much a cult classic, at least in the West. And I think seeing the success that had is only going to drive them further down that route, right? And that is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. That's the life of game design. Like, I don't like the direction a lot of franchises went in and are going, but it will keep going that way. And I will keep moving on to franchises that allow me to play in a little bit more of a grindy or hardcore or slow-paced way, because I like doing that. I do think, though, that much like my complaints with Dark Souls 3, I think that they are complaints in the sense that it doesn't feel like the game I fell in love with, but it feels like a game I can still be in love with. Does that make sense? Like, I love Monster Hunter World. I think it's such an insanely good game. It does not feel like Monster Hunter 3U. It does not feel like the game that I fell in love with Monster Hunter, but it feels like a very fun, very polished boss rush simulator with very little downtime in between. Yeah, a lot of game mechanics have become too forgiving. I agree. Which is strange, because you see the rise of things like, you know, Souls-likes and this game's hardcore, but at the same time, you see game mechanics becoming insanely forgiving. An example of this with Wilds that drives me insane is the optimized healing button, which just lets you use whatever healing item would be most effective in that moment. No more digging through your bag. No more like thoughts about like, can I risk using a potion here? Is that too greedy? Am I trying to preserve my mega potions? Should I use my mega potion? Should I use my like fucking, you know, powder? It just picks it for you, whatever's the best, and just does it. I agree, Emil. Wait, did he say Rise or Wilds? Wilds. And World, to a degree. Yeah, Arborist, my problem with Dark Souls 3, I love that game. Still a very cool game. My problem with Dark Souls 3 is it was around the time when the combat got way too fast just for the sake of being fast. Because, you know, I guess maybe they just don't think very highly of their audience, or they think they need like constant adrenaline to be excited. And I'm like, I get it, dude, but dodge rolling 8 times at level 1 seems a little excessive when in like Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1, you dodge twice, you're out of stamina. At least until you level it up, which if you want to commit to leveling it up, I think that's fine to have that in the game. But having that at level 1 raw is kind of insane. Bunny Hugger says, I'd start with Worlds or Wilds because they are objectively easier, but we'll send a second soup to continue this train of thought. Thank you for the double soups. I think I'd prefer earlier Monster Hunter games because while it would be more difficult, the slower pace of the tougher combat would be better for my mental processing speed. Yeah, if you don't like hyper fast-paced games, like if you're a Dark Souls 1 person and not an Elden Ring person, play older Monster Hunters. If you're an Elden Ring person and you like fast-paced, high action, play later ones. Okay? Okay. Anyway, let's talk about Monster Hunter a little bit later. I do want to deliver my bingo sheets, and then we'll talk about JP stories, yeah? Oh, interesting. I'll keep that in mind, Cinnamony. Thank you for 6 months. I've never played Drakengard. I've heard good things. Anyway, to close this conversation out real fast, I like Monster Hunter a lot. I'm insanely excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm a little scared of it being too simple, but I could be eating my fucking words soon. Who knows? It could be super duper hard. And I think that the monster design and the environment design is better than it's ever been. So as a spectacle, I think this is going to be the best Monster Hunter ever made. And I'm excited for that. Now then, let's talk a little bit about bingo. Hold on, I gotta remember which order I was putting this in. Oh, I think it's this one. Okay, so here is the January bingo card, unfilled out, because I forgot to show you guys the unfilled out version last time. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So you've got, you know, a Stars-EN collab, get adopted, beat a game, draw, do a selfish stream. Bug, don't worry about what that means, I'll tell you later. Endurance, 8+ hour stream. A hand cam, an Armis collab, specifically. Ruzbo content, karaoke. Lore, a monthly resolve, which, ding, got it done. ISP crash, that hasn't happened, I don't think. Oh wait, maybe that did happen, because I was still back in Southwestern Elysium earlier. Anyway, Capix, Be Called a Bastard. I don't know if I got that one. Collab outside of Stars-EN, a tier 4 voice pack, Gaming with the Ruzeters, book club, a gorilla stream, a Minecraft stream, design a monster, MMO with Da Boys, and Hollow Marches. You will see soon that I did not do an incredible job here, but I did get a bingo. So check out my bingo. Ta-da! Bam. Yeah, that's right, baby. Read it and weep. I ended up getting the straight across bingo of karaoke, lore, a monthly resolve, an ISP crash, and Capix. I remember now I did get an ISP crash while I was back in Southwestern Elysium. So there you go. There you go. I got a bingo. It still counts. I did not get bug. I know I didn't get bug. I did not beat a game. I did not do a Ruzbo. I designed no monsters. I did no MMO with Da Boys. Sorry. A little bit of a rough month for bingo, but I still got a bingo, and that counts. All right? Look at this graph. Pretty cool, though. What does it mean to bug? You'll know when it's time. It's true. I did get a V in the bingo, and that's got to mean something, right? It's kind of like a bingo. It's kind of like a bingo if you bent the line. When will it be bug time? Oh, no. Oh, golly. Oh, Ruze, but he's bugless. Oh, fuck. Ruzeters will see this and cry. Ow. I hurt myself again. Is the bug in the room with us right now? I don't think there's any bugs in here. I did see a really cool spider when I was at a restaurant in Xenokuni the other day. He just started lowering down off the ceiling in front of the ordering machine. I thought that was really funny. So I just watched him for a while and then watched him go back up. And nobody but me noticed him, and it was great. So it didn't bother him. Hold on. Let me get a big chug. I'm gonna take a, hold on. Take one more look at this. Goodbye. Now I take a big chug of my delicious stamina potion. Hold on. Auza, they will almost certainly open them before they get to me because they have to check them to make sure it's not, I don't know, explosive. But I appreciate the thought. That's adorable. Sorry about your glitter bomb plans. That's tough. It's tough out here, dude. It's tough. So, here's the bingo sheet for February. You will notice it's the same. The plans remain as they were, as ever they were. All right? All right, great. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Now you know. So, look at this graph. Okay. You can't send gifts anymore? Oh, you can't send gifts anymore, I guess. That's the new rule. I don't know. I'm glad you're keeping up. You guys have better, like, knowledge of the rules here than I do. Good for you. Thanks for keeping up for me. So, now, you guys want to talk a little bit about, you guys want to talk a little bit about, Xenokuni stories. Wow, why is my brain fucking cooked, brother? No gifts, just letters. Oh, that's right, because people started putting air tags in them. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Actually, yeah, no gifts allowed. That's right. They talked to me about that at some point. And I said, no one would do that. And I said, if they showed up anyway, I mean, fuck them, square up. So, yeah, if you ever come to find me, it's not as cute or fun as you think. I'm sure if you came to find me, it would probably be like, oh, wow, this is going to be so cool. I'll surprise my Oshi. I will fuck you up on the front lawn. Do not square up. Because people are weird. Don't do that. Don't do that to any of your Oshis. That's just not cool. Don't surprise people. Don't surprise visit people. It's weird, man. What if I want to fight you? You're not going to know it's coming. It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. If I hear the like word Crimzon outside my door, I'm assuming you're the authorities here to get me. So either I'm escaping from a window or I'm coming out swinging real quick. Don't ever do that to anybody. Yeah, you know what? Just don't surprise people. I had a friend once who did that to me. It was the weirdest shit. I'll tell you a little story. This is not a Xenokuni story. I'll tell you a little story really quick, and then I'll go into Xenokuni stories. I'll transfer from there. I had a friend once who was just a little overly pushy already, and just kind of pushed my boundaries on friendship constantly. And at one point, this dude fucking out of nowhere just texts me at like 4 a.m. He's like, guess where I am? And it's just a selfie of him standing in front of my fucking like apartment, just like aiming up at my apartment window. And I'm like, hey dude, don't do that. That's not funny. That's not quirky. Get out of here. Oh, Moki. I'm gonna say that's Kain. The G is silent. Moki Kain. Thanks for the soup. Was he stoned? No, I think he thought he was being quirky and funny. But I think quirky and funny quickly, how do I say this in a way that is not mean? I think that some people can use what could be interpreted generously as a friendly gesture or a kindness or like appropriate behavior between friends as a guise to push boundaries and consistently test them to see what they can get away with. And this friend was already notorious for that. Very much the type of person who tried to push things like, there is this time, especially in the anime convention scene, where it was popular to say things like, oh yeah, I love holding my friend's hands or like friend cuddles are so cute. And it's like, personally, I don't like physical contact. It bothers me. He liked trying to use that as an excuse to have more physical contact than I was very comfortable with. And it was just the kind of thing where he would constantly test those boundaries and be like, I was just playing around, or it's just a friendly thing, man. And it's like, okay, bud, like that's cool. Stop it. That kind of guy, right? I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that kind of guy, where if you try to call them on it, they were just playing, or it's just a friendly gesture. But if you don't call them on it, they keep pushing the boundaries. Yeah. Stinky foghorn noise. Woo. Yeah, a chronic line stepper. And Don't get me wrong. If you're cool with that and your friends are cool with that and that's something you both like participate in, that's one thing. Using it as an excuse to try and like form a more intimate connection than there is not cool. Now, showing up outside your cat's bedroom at 1 a.m., that's funny. That's funny, especially if you shake them really aggressively. Shake their little butt. Mm-mm. Mm. Well, it's different if your friend's in danger. Yeah. Anyway, I've had one of those friends. It was weird. So anyway, let's talk JP stories because those are more lighthearted and fun. And that's just a goofy story about somebody I knew once. Let me get one more sip of my stamina potion. Hold on. Yum. Thank you. Oh, I'm all out. Damn. Oh, where was I? Let me break out my novel here. I've got a lot of cool arm assets. You guys made me a lot of cool arm assets. I zoomed in too much. I'm sorry. Hold on. Ha! By the way, you guys are insanely fast on this. I always appreciate being able to use things like this, especially for like cool yapping streams and D&D streams and stuff. So thank you for dropping a bunch of these. I genuinely, I love new arm assets. It make me happy. Thank you. I fought a giant robot. Hey, check these out. These are new. Wait. Oh, now I look like a witch hunter. I need my purple glasses to, you know how people wear those stupid fucking, I'm sorry, this is mean. It's not stupid. I get it. It's good. Being healthy is good. Protecting your eyes is good. But nobody looks cool in gamer glasses. You know how people wear those fucking yellow, orange gamer shades or whatever that are meant to look like fucking NASCAR racer shades? Those are goofy. But these are my purple shades to protect my eyes from books. Yeah, this is me reading my diary. Actually, I've been journaling lately. I have been journaling. Believe it or not, I've been journaling, and it has helped. I've been using it to keep track of like what I have and have not done this month, which is pretty cool, right? Bro, I need those shades. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty epic or whatever. Aviator lab goggles? I don't know what the fuck that means. Yes, maybe. I'm pretty bad at journaling. I'm still getting used to it. I think that if I let myself just run rampant, I would write way too much detail, and that would be terrible and take forever. But if I just footnote it, I tend to miss too much, and that makes me sad. So I'm trying to find that happy medium. I'm doing it as bullet points right now just to keep myself from writing too much, but I let those bullet points go a little bit longer than maybe some people. Holy shit. Weiss, Nick T, thank you for being exceptional. Whoa. Big upgrade. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. I'll put your name down in the journal.
I move a lot when I write. That's not true. I don't do that. I sit perfectly still, like I'm on the hunt. That's the sound of me writing for some reason in my head. That's what a pencil scratch sounds like. Anyway, thank you very much for the big ol' upgrade. That's widowy epic. Okay, so let me see. Let me look at my journal first. Oh, well, hold on. I've got a few disjointed stories. These ones are just kind of all over the place. I'm just gonna take a little peek at them before I keep talking. I am that type of writer, so yeah. My spine turns into jello as I try to get closer to the paper. let me start. This is going to be the facilitator of many stories. All right, this will be the facilitator of many stories. But I want to say that I have been just. I am Groot. That's me. That's my that in and of itself. That's like the subheader, right? Like the title of this movie is Ruze's Big Journey in Xenokuni or whatever, or Ruze Goes East. But the subtitle is I am Groot. And that is because I am Grooting my way through this entire fucking country as I slowly learn one new word at a time. I am trying to exist by basically looking Xenokunians in the eyes and in their language going, I am Ruze. Water, please. Thank you. Delicious. I know like 5 keywords, and I'm just struggling to exist with those. They look me in the eyes, and I say, I am Ruze to everything, anything, everything. Fucking poor Konbini employee says something, probably just as a normal fucking sentence, right? Like, hey, would you like a plastic bag? And I'm like, I am Ruze. And he's just got to kind of interpret, and good for him. He's trying his best, and I can respect that. I thought that the other day while playing Marvel Rivals. I was listening to Groot and I was like, you know what? That's me. That's me in Xenokuni. That guy, that's me, dude. I am Crimzon Groot. True. Hello, Ruze. Marble Rivers. I do like oishi desu. That's fun. Oishi ne? Oishi desu? GB said you were similar to this character from Honey Pop 2 is just a weeb trying to speak broken oh no. Oh no. I'm terrified that people are going to think I'm a weeb. That's why I avoid anime stores. Anything with like anime merch or manga merch, I'm like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. People are going to look at me and be like, that checks out. They're going to look at me and be like, yeah, you would. You would. I stay far away from those. Also, listen, Goldie, at least I try to use Japanese, you fucking coward. Crimzon Grooze? What is that? Like some sort of terrible amalgamation of me, Gru, and Groot? Some sort of eldritch abomination growing a like hooked fucking hawkish nose out of a tree's face with my hair? Horrible. Artists, don't get on that. It is story time, it's true. Yeah, so anyway, what have I done since I've been here? I've done a couple things. I'm going to go to my journal first because it's a little bit more cohesive. I'm going to read through that a bit. And then I'll talk to you about what I've been up to kind of on a day-by-day basis, starting from like, I started journaling on the 29th, I think. And I don't think I missed a day. Oh, I did miss a day. I missed the no, I didn't.
I didn't miss a single day. I'm so good at this.
I'm not an anime, how dare you? Okay, I'm a little bit of an anime. Let's see. I already talked about the nightmare I had last time, so that's pretty, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'll tell you a story. Okay, so on the 30th, this is wild. You remember how I had the little Crusader keychain for the merch? Oh, I forgot to do the merch slide. Shit. Why didn't I do that? Did I not upload it? We'll talk about that at the end of this. Anyway, I'll talk about merch later. Don't worry about it. You guys remember how I had the little squeaky Crusader on the hand cam for the puzzle? Remember that? Great. I'm glad you do. Anyway, I ended up borrowing that from the government, and Shikamane gave it to me. And when I went to meet up with Shikamane at the drop location where, you know, she had to like transfer it to me like we were fucking selling and buying drugs illegally, which was pretty fucking funny. Obviously, got to keep it under wraps. It's a prototype. It's not done. And I mean, it would be weird if someone was handing me a Ruzader on the street because I'm not exactly incognito. I'm not stealthy. So it would be very blatant who I was if there was anybody around who knew what HOLOSTARS English was, which is like all of 2 people in Japan. So if either of those 2 people were there, I might be doxxed and in trouble. So anyway, I went to meet up at an anonymous drop location, and when I got there, I was like, you know what I really want to try? I want to try some salmon dunburi. I was like, is there any salmon dunburi around here? So she's like, oh, okay, I'll find it for you or whatever. So she gets on her phone and she's looking around, and she finds one, but it's like 30 minutes away. I'm like, shit. You know what? Fuck it. I'll walk it. But I was new boot goofing that day. I was wearing my brand new boots, which, by the way, look incredibly great. They're very cool. They've got like a good amount of heel on them. Not too tall, but enough. And they've got like a lot of black belts on them, and they've got a zipper up the side. They're very fucking cool. Anyway, I was new boot goofing, and I thought, I could walk 30 minutes. I got like 20 minutes into that walk, 15 minutes into that walk, and I thought, fuck. This hurts, dude. This hurts. Like, this does not feel good. But I was already most of the way there. And to get to the train station, to get back home, I would still have to keep going that way. So I was like, well, I'm committed now. This was me breaking them in. This was me breaking them in. So I kept going. I get there after like walking for about 32 minutes. I was power walking. I made it a little bit shorter. It was supposed to be 37, I think, but I got there in about 32 minutes. I get there and I go to the fucking restaurant. It's the only thing around. There's nothing else around. I can't, there's no second choice. By the time I get there, I've escaped the confines of like the touristy areas or the food areas. And it's just like a random fucking restaurant in the middle of nowhere. So I walk up, I go inside, and it's a standing only restaurant. It's -1 luck, baby. It is a standing only restaurant. So anyway, I really wanted that salmon dunburi, so I still ordered, and I went over there, I stood and I ate my food, and then I walked another like 12 minutes to the train station, and then there's no seat, so I stood on the train for like 24 minutes home. Good times. It was goofy, but it was fun. It was goofy, but man, god damn it. God damn it, dude. I was like, my feet were made of blisters. I was like, dude, my feet are so. I at one point considered, this is not my proudest moments. I considered dropping onto my knees and shuffling the rest of the way home because can I say this? Is this too doxing? No, there's a lot of places like this in fucking Japan. I live like 15 minutes away from any train station in any direction. So I have to walk pretty far after I get off the train, right? 15 minutes is nothing unless you're already sore from walking for like 2 hours on new boots. So once I got off that train, I considered dropping to my knees and shuffling back. Moki, thank you for a full year. Gotta love that -1 luck, right? I did not do it. But I sure fucking thought about it. And then my second thought was, what if I just take my boots off and walk home barefoot? I'm like, nah, fuck, I can't do that either. Damn it. I was about to lose my entire aura, and I'm aura farming constantly, right? Like, I'm the type of motherfucker that walks when people run across the crosswalk. That's my aura farm, and I would drop that aura in that moment. I considered it. I really considered it. Taxis and Ubers exist? Yeah, but then I have to figure out taxis and Ubers here, and I got to talk to them in a language I don't know, and I said, fuck it. I believe you, Danielle. That sounds brutal. I do have good, like, regular. Listen, I'm not kidding. I've bought 3 pairs of shoes since I've been here, which was probably a really bad idea. I'm not going to lie to you. Probably a terrible idea because I think that I'm going to have trouble getting all of the shit I have back home. Honestly, I just bought way too much shit. I bought like 3 new pillows, 3 pairs of shoes. I bought a pillow-sized plushie. I keep trying to get this fucking Florigato plushie from like claw games, like those UFO claw games, you know what I'm talking about? I keep trying to get one, and I have tried on like 3 or 4 separate occasions now. I've burnt so much fucking yen trying to get this stupid Florigato plushie because it's better than the one at the Pokemon Center, but I can't get it. Yeah, I'm gonna need more luggage for sure. Okay, listen, so the thing about the pillows is I needed a pillow that didn't suck for my bed, right? So that was one. But then I found this really cool pillow at Pokemon Center, and I had to get it. But there was only one. And I thought I could do 2 of these with my cool blanket that I have, my Paris blanket, and they would match. So when I went to Pokemon Center again, I saw another one, but it was at a different location. I was like, well, they were sold out at the last location, so I'm taking this now before I run out. So I grabbed it too, so I have 2 copies of that pillow. Because I want them as like pillows that I lay on like a couch or something, right? I think that would be cool. So then if anybody ever visits me, I could be like, yeah, this is kind of widowy, my epic Pokemon couch. It's got a Paris blanket and my 2 glass Pokemon pillows, and they match. It's like decor, but for super fucking nerds, right? Just trust me when I say it looks good. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my God, he's got like a PNG of Pokemon print. Nah, dude, it's the design fucks. It goes hard. I'm not kidding. Raven Revenant, thank you for 13 months of being exceptional. Damn. I've definitely worn my massive 7-inch platform goth boots on the plane to save luggage space. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, maybe. Listen, the decor goes hard. That's all I'm saying. Man, just telling stories in succession feels very weird, but I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep telling you guys about it because fuck it, I guess. I mean, I'm here now. I was going to say something else about the boots. I forgot. Oh, I bought like Don Quixote sneakers, like walking sneakers. They're fine actually. They were really cheap and they work really well. They're like the sort of canvas top that like slides on really easily. I call them water boots because I feel like a lot of people use those for walking in rivers. At least if you live near a river, I feel like a lot of people use those sort of canvas top shoes with like the sort of like rubbery bottoms to like walk on rivers. But that's not what it's for. I think they're like runner shoes. Anyway, I've got those and those are cool. But then I was waiting for Axel and Shikamane and a couple other managers when we were going to go out to, I think we were getting skewers. Are we going to Izakaya? That's what it was. We were going to Izakaya, and my feet were hurting, and I was bored, and I wanted to do something. So I was just wandering around shops, and I found this like discount shoes store. It wasn't used shoes, but it was like shoes that I think they were selling, and then that run ended, so they just like offload it onto like local stores, and then they resell it for a cheaper price. Not resell it, but they sell it for a cheaper price, right? So like excess stock. And I ended up buying 2 pairs of boots there. I've got one that's like a brown pair of boots with like this sort of belt at the top, but they look kind of like, they've got like a little bit of a rounded pointed toe. So they can look a little bit more like businessy or cowboy-y, I guess, if you cover the belt part with like pants. So I'll do that sometimes. And they're super insanely comfortable. I don't know what the sole is made of, but it feels like I'm walking on a cloud, which is wild. And those are like little anklet boots. They don't go too high up my ankle. They're very nice. And they're like sort of classic, like, you know, leather brown. Not dark leather brown, just like a regular leather brown. Which I've never really owned a pair of boots like that. So they're nice. They're cool to wear. I like them a lot. But then the other ones I bought are sort of like these high-heeled, not like insanely high-heeled, like block-heeled, slightly higher heel. I'd say like, I don't know, 2-inch, 3-inch heels. Maybe higher. Let me measure with my hand here. Maybe like 3-inch-ish heeled boots with like 4 black belts on them and a zipper up the side. They've got a really cool design. I like them a lot. Anyway, they're both very cool. But while I was shopping for these shoes, I was trying to, I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I was talking to the shoe salesman and he kept trying to give me sizes up because like they had like a size out, right? Like just out on display. And I was like, oh, can I get this like, you know, a size down? And like I said it in Xenokunian, like I looked it up on my phone and I was saying it in Xenokunian, but he I think he maybe thought he was mishearing me, or maybe my accent was bad, or maybe he just didn't believe me because he kept being like, up. I'm like, no, down. He's like, up. I'm like, no, down. So he'd be like, oh, and then bring me the boots. So yeah, that was funny. And then I bought them, and then I went to Don Quixote across the street, and like a fucking tourist animal, I took off my shoes right there and swapped into the new brown boots, like sitting on a little concrete ledge on the street, which is funny because like two random people sat next to me, and it was like two I don't know, like younger Xenokuni girls, and they were just staring at me like I was a fucking psychopath. So I'm just taking my shoes off on the street and putting on new shoes. I'm like, well, you sat next to me, motherfucker. I'm sorry, you saw the random foreigner taking his shoes off. So I'm putting on my new boots, and then I go to meet Shikamane and Axel and the other managers at the fucking izakaya. I was like, hey, check it out, I got new boots. And then fucking Shikamane is like, what's with your tiny ass feet? I was like, I don't have tiny feet. I'm like, you got big ass stompers, motherfucker. It's not my fault we share shoe size. I'm sorry, you've got big old Bigfoot feet. Fucking cryptid looking ass. Don't start with me. So we were measuring feet sizes, and Shikamane and I share a shoe size. So that was goofy. Listen, I've got dainty ballerina feet and beautiful ankles and long, elegant legs. It's not my fault I was born to be a beautiful, top-heavy deer. I'm built like a varvolf. I've got those long back legs and the Dorito. That's why you could buy your shoe sizes in JP. Yeah, it's actually it's not very hard for me to find shoe sizes out here. Built like a clamp character. Oh no. Man, that was good. That was the same night, actually. Yeah, that was the same night that. Okay, now it's all coming back to me. See, this is why I like to get like kind of in the flow of the stories first, because then it drags me back into the place I need to be in. Remember what I wanted to talk about? That was the night that Axel and I don't know if I should say the Mane's name who went with us. Anyway, we went with like Axel and another cool dude and another cool dude, and we went out to a bar after that izakaya, and nothing really crazy happened there. It was really crowded, which was annoying. Not the end of the world. Some random foreigner tried to talk to us for a little bit, which, I mean, I'm a foreigner too, but this guy was very aggressively trying to talk to everybody in the bar, which is something. But at one point, an older Japanese businessman goes to pass me, and this is a pretty tight bar. Like, there's no seats. You're just standing. And he goes to pass me, and I step to the side, and I'm just doing a polite gesture. I tend to gesture a lot with my body when I know people can't understand me. So I step to the side. I bow very slightly, like I lean at the waist a little bit. I put one hand on my heart and my other hand, like, kind of out, motioning away from me, right? Step past me, like with a slight bow at him. And the fucking dude looks me in the eye and in a drunken slur is like, oh, gentlemen. And then nods and smiles and walks past. I'm like, okay, brother. Hell yeah, dude, let's go. And then I turned back to my drink. But needless to say, we got a kick out of that. That was pretty funny. Like a knight? No, not like a knight. Not like just like a normal gesture, like when you like, it's like a universal you may pass sign. Like step slightly back, bow a little bit at the waist, hand on your chest, other hand out and away from you at like a 45-degree angle, like motioning like go that way. It's a universal sign. A paladin manners at the tavern. Hell no. Hell no. Wow. He's a gentleman, Your Honor. Yeah, like a butler bow. Thank you. A real gentleman. No, not like a butler. Okay, not like a not like a butler. Like just a normal like fucking motion, You were missing a hat to take off? Oh, God. Known gentleman ruse. Wrong. Hand to your chest. Not like to my chest, like grasping it, right? Like I make like a cup with my hand when I'm doing this. Like I tend to like motion my palm up with a slight curve, like a C shape to my hand. And I put that against my chest, like near where my heart is, or my nip, I guess. And then the other hand is just out at like a 45-degree angle. Like I'm gesturing, like go that way. It's normal. It's a normal gesture, you psychopaths. Anyway, I just thought his response was funny. I thought it was funny the way he acted. That's still fancy to me. What do you want, dude? Yes, Mr. Wayne ass pose. Fuck you, man. That's buttling, sir. That is not buttling. That's normal. That's normal behavior. How would you symbol you may pass to a stranger who doesn't speak your language? Like, what do you want me to do? Stand with my arm rigid at like a full T pose, like pointing the other way? Just step aside. Well, no, that's what I did. Hit him with a Gandalf. Just a sweeping hand gesture. Dude, I had like this little kid jump up in front of me on the escalator the other day and just block my path for no reason. Like they ran down past me specifically, blocked my path, looked past me to their parents and were laughing about something. And then as they stepped off the escalator, they started swinging their hands in a big T motion, trying to block multiple people. And I was like, hey man, can you control your fucking kid? Can you control? I didn't say that, obviously, but I was like, get the fuck out of my way, shithead. Come on. I was about to go full fuck. You know what's wild? Here's another story for you. Where was I? I was at the zoo. I was at the zoo the other day. Ueno, I think. I was at the Ueno Zoo. And I was walking. And I was walking down to go get some food or something. And as I'm walking, there's like these two other foreigners. I don't know where they were from exactly, but they weren't speaking Xenokunian. Anyway, it was a mom and her kid, and there are very clear delineations of traffic. There's oncoming and like, you know, outgoing traffic. And the outgoing traffic is already moving relatively slowly. So I moved to pass somebody, and through the outgoing traffic, this mom and her kid are for some reason walking directly in the path toward us, like just blocking everybody. Super fucking annoying. So as I'm passing this one guy, a Japanese girl passes me, like a Xenokunian girl, and she's got a backpack on, and I shit you not, I've seen this so many times at this point, she just fucking shoulder checks the kid. Like they're walking on the wrong side and she shoulder checks the fucking kid. I'm like, holy shit, just doinks her out of the way. So I use the opening to step past, of course, as well. But I'm like, is that just the norm here? I feel like I've seen it so many times at this point. I'm like, maybe I should just start shoulder checking people. Everybody's like, oh, Xenokunians are so polite. Xenokunians are so polite. I'm like, first of all, they get in the way a lot. There is a ton of just playing chicken with you, but they won't move. But then I see other Xenokunians just fucking check them. I see them check them every time. I've seen like businessmen check each other. I've seen tiny Xenokunian like what looks like a petite like little lady check full-grown men like at like hip height, just check them out of the way. I'm like, damn, all right, fuck, maybe I just gotta start checking people. Oh, the cyclists are nutty here. I don't want to talk about the cyclists, dude. I have played an annoying amount of chicken with cyclists. And it's like, dude, I'm not even in the cycling lane. Please just go past. Please just go past. It's okay. You may go by. Please go past me. When in Rome, I was 2 steps away from checking that child who was T-posing, but I'm like, I am also a big grown adult man, and I think shoulder checking a random child is probably a little bit out of line. Also, I'd have to like drop down on my knees to shoulder check a child, so it would really just be pushing her out of the way like a bully. No, she did not check me out. That did not happen. Nobody's been checking me out. I mean, maybe they have, but I choose not to take note of that. I hope not. Probably not. I don't think so. I think I stand out, but not in like a, oh, wow, attractive way. I think I stand out in a, what's with that haggard foreigner? Why does he look like that? Take care of your hair, buddy. Type of way. That's a good point. That's a good point. Let's see, what else happened? That same day on the way back from the bar where the dude told me I was a gentleman, what else? Hey, congratulations on being officially born, Dusk, and thank you for being exceptional. Don't worry, I've got more stories for you. I'm gonna keep going for a bit. I'll share as many as I can before I, get ready to check out of here. How long have I been going? About 2.5 hours? I still got some time. Tokyo doesn't overtly stare. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, the fuck they do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're checking me out because I don't think that's what's happening, but I mean, it's like on a cycle. It's like, you know how like when a shark passes through a school of fish, all the fish move out of the way, right? You know what I'm talking about? That is me, but for staring. Like on a train, I will look right and like 4 people will avert their gaze all of a sudden, like, oh. And then I will look left and 4 more people will avert their gaze. And then I look right and they've done it again. And then, oh, look the other way. I'm like, you motherfuckers, you just wait until I look at you to look away. Did you get hair care there? They have good hair products. Yeah, I've actually been using their hair products. It's pretty good. It's hard to tame my hair. It tends to be very flippy no matter what I do with it. But, it feels nice. So that's good. They refuse to get caught. I've had one person. I was eating dinner with Axel and a couple managers. This is not the same day. This is a different day. I had one person meet my stare, and I punked out quick. There was like a group of like 4 ladies or whatever, a table across, and I looked over and someone was staring at me. So I did the thing where I like look over and then look away because I assume they're going to look away immediately. And then I realized they hadn't looked away. So I looked back and they were still staring. And I was like, nope, can't do that. So I just looked away. I got too embarrassed. I'm pretty sure I turned like a little red there because I'm like, oh man, people are just staring at me. This sucks. I was like, never mind. Oh, I gave up quick. Trust me, Miracle Boy. I was done. I was like, oh, nope, sorry. I'm not a coward. What do you want me to do? Lock eyes with strangers across the fucking way? Like, what do you want to get into combat, brother? Step up. I'll jump on this table right now. They didn't give me a knife, but they gave me a chopstick. I'll bring you down. Folded like a large lawn chair. How dare you? How dare you? Pokemon battle music starts immediately. Let's fucking go. No, I did not. I did not. I cannot lock eye contact with people for too long. If it's like somebody who's like getting aggressive, that's much easier than somebody who's just staring, because then I don't know their intentions, right? If they're like just staring at me, it makes me feel awkward really quickly. Especially people around my age, they fucking shake me up fast, dude. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am not great with flirtations or assertions. I will fold fast. So if somebody's staring at me and I don't know what their intentions are and they're around my age, I will quickly try to like pretend they do not exist. I will pretend they're not there. I'm like, ooh. Suddenly that wall is very interesting. That's a really cool wall. Oh, my fingernails, those look great right now. Oh, my shoes. Interesting. Yeah, or maybe something's wrong. Maybe my hair's fucked up. Who knows? I don't know. Oh, wow, that pebble on the road's so cool. Oh, I'm definitely trying to read the sign in a language I don't know. Interesting. Huh. Curious. What a curious sign. If somebody approached me and asked to take a picture with me, I'd be like, who are you? Why? Do you know me? I'd be like, I'm nobody. No. Sorry. Nah, sorry. I'm a rando. Do you ask every foreigner to take a picture with you? I'd probably hit him with I would put on like a business voice immediately. I'd be like, sorry, who are you? Like immediately fucking change my voice. I'd be like,
I don't know you. I'm sorry.
like anything not to sound like me, just in case, because I would panic. I'd be like, oh fuck, what if this is like one of two people who knows who I am? Uh-oh. Loving story time around the campfire. Let's go, baby. I get asked to take pictures for people. Listen, I've never had anybody stop me and ask to take a picture with me. I think that would be a very, no, I don't know. It's hard to say because I've never had it happen like randomly, right? But when I did cosplay, it happened a lot. So I don't know if I would like drop into cosplay mode and just be like, oh yeah, for sure. And then hover hand them or some shit. Or if I would be like, this is the weirdest moment in my life. Why do you want to take a photo with me? So, shrug. They might in Japan. I don't think foreigners are as like, I think people have this really weird perception. Not weird. I think people have an outdated perception of Japan. I think a lot of people who think of Japan think like, oh, they're going to be so odd or so weirded out by foreigners. Like, dude, foreigners are so common. This is like a tourist country. Like their whole economy is built on tourism. I don't think foreigners are as weird as people think. Like, I don't think anybody's going to stop you and be like, can I get a photo with you? I think it's just super common to see random like foreigners now. Yeah, okay, so if I went outside Tokyo, that's true. You're right, Garnet. If I went outside Tokyo to a more rural area, it's more likely people would stop and stare. I don't know that anybody would be like, can I get a photo? But I do think it would be more likely that people would be a little bit like, huh, weird. Now, if it had been like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, maybe. Hey, Caddy, thank you for being a Ruzader and Ageablix. 13 whole months. Let's go. I will never go to an onsen, much less a rural onsen. Are you kidding me? That's like, at that point, your friend has a fetish. Your friend has an exhibitionism kink. Sorry, your friend was asking to be stared at. Motherfucker said, I'm gonna go to an onsen, but I'm also gonna go to one far out in the rural area. Take that. Oh no, why are people staring at me? This is so weird. I'm just a regular guy just like you. Please don't look. That was your friend. That was your friend making that decision. Okay, a private onsen, I would consider a private onsen. If I could be alone, that would be nice. Actually, that sounds kind of really nice. I would probably do that, yes. Okay, what else happened? Oh, so I left that bar or whatever, and I was admittedly a little drunk, not like hammered or anything, but I was a little drunk. So I had a little liquid courage in me, and I saw this dude who had this really cool outfit on the train. He had like a black sort of circular hat on, right? And he had like this cool like cross necklace and cool jewelry. He's kind of punk looking almost, but not quite punk. Like if punk met like Xenokunian Jack Sparrow, right? Anyway, I was like, damn, I like this guy's aesthetic. I should figure out how to tell him I like his aesthetic. So I Googled, I like your aesthetic, which I shouldn't have fucking done because I'm sure it said some dumb shit. I should have just said I like your style or something. So then I held my phone up. I was like, I was like, sumimasen. And then I showed him my phone. He's like, oh, and it was like, he was very nice about it. But then his buddy stops. He's like, where are you from? I was like, South Elysium, Western South Elysium. He's like, oh, where? I'm like, middle of nowhere. You wouldn't know it. But that was fun. It was very cute. We had a little like interaction for a minute. Then they all left the train at like 2 stops after that after we finished talking or whatever. And then another random foreigner came up to me and started talking to me. And we chatted for a little bit about like the fucking Midwest of Elysia America and growing up there and stuff. So that was pretty funny. Then I had to leave the train, but it was an interesting stepping out of my comfort zone to try and talk to people moment. So that was pretty fun. I'm trying to be a little bit more, I guess, outgoing while I'm here. It's very difficult, especially while having a language barrier, but it was fun. It was cool. He was very nice about it. So were his buddies. It was maintenance man. True. Thank you. I had the alcohol courage. True. What are the odds? Right? Very brave. I would. I carefully scouted the situation first. I listened to them talk for a minute. And that foreigner, the other foreign guy, had talked to them for a second too. So I knew that they spoke a little bit of English. And I made sure that I was like gauging the interaction correctly. And if I guessed correctly, this is the type of like social paranoia I have, by the way, about how I'm perceived in a conversation. If I was gauging the interaction correctly, it was that guy, the stylish guy, his girlfriend, and their buddy, right? So they were all just hanging out in a group. So I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to be perceived as like being forward or coming on to somebody or like trying to flirt, because it was pretty obvious that they were like, there was already an established couple there. So I don't think I would have interacted if his girlfriend had not been there, because I feel like at that point it would have been like seen as some sort of like flirtation. But that was me overestimating and overgauging the conversation before I even had it, as usual. I tend to do that a lot. I am terrified that at some point there's 2 terrifying things to me in a conversation. One of the most terrifying things to me is somebody is going to think I'm flirting with them or in some way like coming on to them, right? The more terrifying thing, and this is the worst, is that they will reciprocate, and then I have to turn around and be like, oh, I wasn't doing that. I'm sorry. That is the most terrifying outcome. That is the ultimate, please let me pull off my skin and leave. Safety girlfriend, amen. Thank you, safety girlfriend, for saving that interaction. I've been there. It's so awkward. Yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen a lot when I was a barista, actually, which is just the fucking worst, because you're working and you want tips and you want to be polite. But on the other hand, it's like politeness can be mistaken for being flirty. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm just doing my job. Sorry, dude, or lady, or whoever. That's happened a few times. I'm like, I'm sorry, but no. Just flirt with everyone so no one knows if you're serious. Big brain. I cannot play the flirting game of chicken because I feel like that builds a level of like romantic tension that I do not want. Because someone's going to try and make good on it. Someone's going to call you on it. I don't want it. Not with random people in like a country I don't speak the language. Definitely not. Listen, I'm busy. I'm busy playing video games. They'd be disappointed. I'd be like, haha, I lied. I don't actually like sex. Welcome to my place. Now we're going to talk about Pokemon strategies and how I can build the perfect bug team. Haha. That'd be the whole thing. And how do I communicate that in Xenokunian? You know what I mean? That's the fear. I mean, it could be Lord of the Rings. Don't test me. He's a freak. He's a game freak. Oh, no. Ah. I gotta learn to talk about bugs in Japanese. Mushi. Ah, good times, good times. I only know one Japanese Pokemon name, and it's Nyahoja, because I think it's a cute name. Date wa yuki desu. Yuki desu. Only gaming. Exactly. Date wa yuki desu. Only gaming. Mushi Gasuki. That's me patting my chest like I'm fucking Milo Thatch, like a fucking idiot trying to speak Atlantean the first time. Sound like the dumbest motherfucking foreigner in the universe. Nyahoja. No game questions yet. We're keeping it to Xenokuni stories for now, but don't you worry about it. Charizard is Lizardon. That's true. It is Lizardon, I believe. Let's see. Anyway, so after that, you know, that was chill. I went to do karaoke with Gerard and a few managers at some point. I sung Bloodhounds. at karaoke. That was cool. Oh, and I did I Am All of Me. And you guys never heard this, which is sad for you guys. I did my best take of Dead World ever. Turns out having an actual official karaoke in front of me is much easier than trying to memorize the lines myself. Oopsies. Too bad that one's not for your ears. That one's just for the managers and Gerard. All right. Oh, I'm running out of time. Let's see. Oh, Gerard's thing is in, I believe Gerard has a birthday stream in like 20 minutes, so I better hurry. All right. All right. What else happened? Let's see. I had my first matcha latte. That was tasty. During that, for some reason, the fucking... Listen, this is a bit of a call out to the managers. They wouldn't stop talking about shit for some reason. I don't know what their deal is. I'm just letting you know. Fucking gutter-brained animals. I'm like trying to enjoy my matcha latte, and fucking Shikamane is like, you ready to have green shits? I'm like, I guess. I guess. And then they all started talking about shits. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Matcha lattes, dude. It was all right. I'm not big on matcha. It still tastes like cut grass to me. Just saying. That's a call out for you, Manes. Oh, that same day, I remember this. That same day after we all had like lattes or whatever, I was wandering around at stores and I was on my own and I went into this fucking random general store and I was just looking for moisturizer because the air here has been really dry. I was like, oh, I want to find some moisturizer for my face. And I stopped, an employee stopped me. I was like halfway up the stairs. I was like starting to go upstairs to the next place, next floor of the fucking store or whatever. And she stops me and she's like, are you looking for something? And I was like, yeah, actually. I was like, I'm looking for like moisturizer. She's like, for like moisturizer for like your face? I was like, So she takes me to this fucking product and she starts trying to sell me on this $200 moisturizer, like $200 US moisturizer, and being like, she just kept repeating, very famous in Japan, very famous in Japan. I'm like, and I had to sit there and politely listen to her try and sell me on this for like 10 minutes, but she didn't have enough like vocabulary in English, I don't think, to sell me on it. So she just kind of kept saying the same thing, kept repeating very famous in Japan. I'm like, I'm like, I'm going to look around. She's like, oh, okay. And then kept talking about it and then being like very famous in Japan. And I just politely sat there for 10 to 15 minutes. And then eventually I was like, okay, but I'm going to go ahead and look around. Like, I know that that's like your catchphrase, but I do want to find something that is not $200. So yeah, eventually I did go find something else, but that was wild. So I'm like, I have not been like salesman the entire time here in Xenokuni. Nobody dares try to like hit me with the salesman spiel. And I was like, very brave of you. It's not working, but very brave of you. I mean, it seriously felt like a catchphrase. It felt like I was talking to a Pokemon who's like, Slowpoke. But like their Pokemon name is very famous in Japan. But you gotta understand it's very famous in Japan. I believe it, but goddamn. I've been struggling with like Japanese phrases in general because I feel like there's only so one thing I've recognized about like Japanese conversations is they tend to follow a very samey flow. Like every conversation I've overheard follows almost the exact same pattern, intonation, and flow. Like everybody's having the same fucking conversation, like it's about the weather or something, I'm guessing. But for some reason, I am not understood. And I think part of it is I've been saying the wrong things, or maybe I'm just underpronouncing or overpronouncing. But I don't know. I've been struggling with like, for example, like with that lady, I didn't have a good way to kind of back out of that conversation. Or I'm trying to be like overly polite at konbinis or like ramen shops or whatever. At one point I ended up as at my ramen shop I usually go to, and somebody left and they're like, oh, gochu-san. And I was like, what did he just say? So I Googled like what to say after you're done eating a meal in Japan or whatever. And it's gochiso-sama desu. But he said it so fast. He's like, gochiso-sama desu. And I was like, I should do that. So I finished my meal and I'm like, gochiso-sama desu. And the dude kind of like did a little double take at me. And then I could see he was smiling behind his mask, but I don't know if he was laughing at me like this dumb motherfucker, or if he was like, oh, cute foreigner trying his best. Either way, I was like, well, I made somebody smile today on my way out the fucking ramen shop. So that was something. I hit him with a gochiso-sama desu. So yeah, I tried my best. I considered never going back out of shame, but nah, I'm gonna go back. I don't give a shit. I like their food too much. Their ramen hits hard. Man, I'm hungry now that I think about it. I forgot how hungry I am. Okay, I've got 5 minutes left. I gotta keep going. All right. I hope he remembers it. He's like, what a fucking idiot. It's also like, okay, so when I go to kabinis, right? Often the first question they ask you is like, do you want a bag? But they say it in a different way every time. And I did not get, I might have got, I do think I got Nihongo Jouzon't. I'll tell you about that in a second. So at konbinis, right? They often ask first if you want a bag, and then they ask how you're paying. That's typically the rhythm of the conversation. So I've just gotten used to saying like, yeah, or I'll say like, daijoubu desu, on the first question. And then on the second question, I'll be like, oh, cardo. But for some reason, they just don't understand when I answer the first question. Like I would say it's like a 50-50 fucking crapshoot, right? Like 50-50, they'll say something and I'll be like, hi, kaban. And they just won't give me a bag. And I'm like, dude, did you just fucking ask me a negative or something? Like, why would you do that to someone who doesn't speak your language? That's like if somebody came to America and I'm like, oh, you don't need a bag, do you? So they say yes. I'm like, good. So you don't. And then I just like walk away. I'm like, what am I saying wrong here? I'm like, hi, come on, hi. It's just like they won't give me a bag half the time. And I'm like, are you asking me a negative? Are you being like, you don't need a bag, do you? Or you're fine without a bag, right? Is that what you're asking me? Because I don't fucking know, but I'm saying yes to whatever your question is, and I'm still not getting a bag, dude. It's fucking bonkers. Oh, I know kudasai. I just don't use it as like a raw. Have I tried Japanese on Axel or the managers? No. Axel does not speak Japanese at me ever, no matter what. Axel only speaks Japanese to the managers. They speak Japanese when they don't want me to know what they're saying, and they kind of do that on their own on the corner. And then they go back to English when it's okay for me to know what they're saying. They speak Japanese to whisper sweet nothings about how incredibly, unbearably attractive I am, probably. That definitely sounds like something Axel would do. Huh. Nah, they're probably insulting you. Nah, that's impossible. They couldn't. I mogged the shit out of them. How are they going to insult me? He's in over his head. There's no such thing as being in over my head. I've got passion Japanese. It's enough to make me go through. I can do this. I can do this. Calling you a bastard in different languages? Oh, maybe. You never know. Ding. Insults are the first thing you learn in a language. I don't know any Japanese insults. The best I got is like shine, which, I mean, shine. This is my second time in Japan. Passion Nihongo. Dude, I went to I was out with friends, and they were like, oh, we've got a cool izakaya we want to go check out. We got a cool izakaya. And the one friend is like, don't worry. Other friend picked out this izakaya. And then he's like, no, I didn't. You did. So then dude one is like, no, I didn't. You did. And they're like arguing back and forth. I'm like, oh shit, where the fuck are you taking us, you idiots? And then the three of us get to this fucking izakaya, and it's like a hole in the fucking wall. Like, it's a super short door. I have to duck under. It barely looks like a door. And there's like a tabard or a tapestry hanging in front of the door, so you have to duck under the tapestry. It looked so much like it was abandoned that friend one had to step inside first to be like, hey, is this an izakaya? And they're like, oh yeah, it is. So he steps out, and friend one looks very Xenokunian. He's not, but he looks Xenokunian, so he tends to get like mistaken for a local at first, and he speaks the most Japanese out of us. So I think they thought they were going to seat a bunch of Xenokunians. So then friend four shows up, and it's just three foreigners, our Xenokunian looking friend who is also a foreigner. And then finally somebody comes out and they're like, oh, okay, come in. And they do a double take and look at us and are like, so we all walk in. And it is like the tightest, smallest little shop you've ever seen, like a ramen shop, right? Where it's just like the stools that people sit at the bar, and then it's just almost up against a wall, and their coats are all hanging behind them. And I'm wearing this big old coat trying to stay warm, so I'm like bumping all their coats as I shuffle behind them awkwardly. It is clearly all just regulars and locals here, just regulars and locals who come here to probably hang out on like a fucking Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day it was. I can't remember anymore. And we thought this was going to be like some sort of bigger thing because it's like marketed as a cat izakaya, which is really cool conceptually. And at the far back, they've got two tables set up with like cushions to kneel on. So we get to the back because they set us in the far back. So I have to pass by everybody, take off my shoes, and kneel down. And it's run by like this little old lady, very sweet, very cute, and I think her son or something. And the little old lady is like, oh, sugoi, as we walk past. And I'm like, oh no. So we get to the fucking like far back and we kneel down, and it becomes quickly apparent that none of us speak very good Japanese other than our one friend. And the menus are handwritten in like Sharpie. And Google Translate doesn't work on them because they're handwritten top down in Sharpie. So then a customer who speaks a little bit of English gets up and is like, come here. So I like stand up thinking, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I'm like, okay. So I go with him and I step into the area where where you're supposed to wear your shoes, but I'm just in my socks. I'm in my socks on this area, and they kind of laugh at me a bit. And he was trying to gesture me toward the bar so I could look at their example plates because they had example plates of food. He was trying to show me that like I could just point at what I want. And I'm walking on the fucking space for boots in my socks, and they're kind of chuckling to themselves, and they're having a good laugh or whatever. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this is awesome. This is great. So I point at like a broccoli salad or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll just keep it light. I'll just have a broccoli salad. And then I sit down, and then I'm like, they're like, what do you want to drink? And friend three is like, he's like, Koku? And they're like, huh? And he's like, Coca-Cola? And they're like, huh? They're like, oh, no. And I was like, Mizu kudasai. Like, huh? I'm like, Mizu? And they're like, oh. They're like, Mizu, but like, what do you want to drink? You know, like, what kind of drink do you want? And I'm like, sour. And they're like, oh, okay. So I'm like, cool, got it. But apparently they had like no soda, which is funny because my buddy wanted soda. I think we all ended up just getting fucking lemon sours because we couldn't figure out how to say anything else except for the one who speaks the most Japanese. He's like biodu, so they gave him just a malt or whatever, I think. Anyway, it was really awkward. Everybody in the bar was kind of just staring over at us while we ate our fucking food and kind of tried our best to like communicate. And the little old lady, I was sitting closest to her and she kept like not wanting to step up to the area that was like no shoes. So she would like lean across the second table and set things on it, and I would lean over and grab it. And I kept trying to like, I guess I was overcompensating or maybe being too polite because I would like lean really far and grab things for her. And she turns to me and says something I don't understand and was like kind of laughing at herself and like tapping her son on the chest. So I look back at my friend who speaks more Japanese, like, what did she just say? He said, she said, I'll remember this. And I was like, huh? Did I do something wrong? He's like, no. She thinks you're being really polite. She's saying she'll remember that when she gives you your food. I was like, oh, thanks. I'm like, okay, got it. I'm like, good. Okay, so I charmed the little old lady. That was nice. It was a weird cat bar, though. There was like no structure to it. There was like no structure, I guess, like where the cats were. They were just kind of in cardboard boxes all around. We were actually sat right next to the cat like litter boxes, which was funny. It was super informal. Like to my back behind me was just a bunch of cardboard boxes with like, I'm assuming supplies and packets and sauces or whatever just stacked up on each other. It was very, very like homey, which was cool. Yeah, sorry I rizzed the little old lady in the shop. She was very sweet though, very sweet. The gentleman strikes again. Yeah, I was probably being a little too polite. I was probably putting on a little bit too much of like the disarming smile and like overly polite nodding and whatever. It was very family run. It was very cute. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. But I liked it. I mean, I don't know that I would do it again, but I liked it. Yeah, the universal language of like a neko ski des. Yeah, I hit him with the I am Groot for sure. That was me that whole time. I felt very Groot core in that area. That was very Groot core. Yeah, cat lover solidarity. Yep. Southern hospitality core. I think that's my problem is I have the Southern hospitality core, tragically. I think that's, I don't know where I got that from though, right? Like my family didn't raise me that way. My siblings aren't like that. I think I just grew up really anxious and overly polite. Probably like some sort of middle child syndrome or some shit. I don't fucking know, but I am very overly polite in situations where I feel like I am uncomfortable or I'm imposing upon someone, which is basically always. I was the type of friend who, like, if I came over to your house, I would ask you every time if I could have a glass of water. I'd be like, can I go get a glass of water? Is that okay? Or I would like try so hard not to impose that like my host would be like, hey, did you drink anything today or yesterday? I'm like, no, I didn't want to bother you type of deal. You'll grow out of that? I don't think I'm growing out of that, brother. I think I'm grown. I think it's too late. Yeah, I got that vampire rules where I cannot walk into the room until I'm invited in. You know what I mean? I ask my own family if I can have. I do that when I visit my family, but I did not do that when I lived there. Ow, my shoulders. Oh, dude, I did that a couple times, Shaco. I had a friend get together in college. Actually, was it high school? No, it was college. I was had a friend get together and we had a sleepover or whatever, and it was in college. And they didn't remember to give me a blanket before they went to bed, so I pulled up a couple kitchen chairs, like 3 of them, and then slept like with them spaced out just enough that they were long enough to lay my legs across, but there was a little gap for like my shoulders and my ass, just because I needed more space because it would have been long enough otherwise. And then I just draped my coat over the top of me and said, okay, EP time. And I just slept like that. Well, someone else had already taken the couch and I didn't want to impose. Pillows? No pillows. It was just chairs and a coat. Well, it's okay. That was funny. Oh, couch pillows is a blanket. Now that's a good way to do it. Yeah. You just stack up as many as you can on yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a couple kitchen chairs. Were they hard chairs? No, they had cushions on them. Oh, I've slept on tile floors, not concrete floors. Back when I was, I had homeroom class in high school. I like to sleep through homeroom most of the time. And it got to the point where I had such a reputation for sleeping through so many classes that they just assumed I was going to sleep when I came into homeroom. And at some point they're like, how do you sleep with the lights on? I was like, I don't know. I just make do. And they're like, well, just go nap in the closet then. I was like, oh yeah. So I went to the teacher. I was like, can I go lay down in the closet? I'm like, I guess, sure. So I just like would go into the closet every homeroom. I'd open the door, go in. I would slide under some shelves because there was shelving in there. And I'd just drape my hoodie over the top of me and just take a nap on the tile. I did that constantly. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, it was choice. It was by choice. True. EP spot, yeah. Dude, I love finding, like, I think it's because as a child, I would constantly, like, wedge myself into weird hiding places to try and freak my family out and, like, jump out and jump scare them. So I think I've got a fondness. I sleep really well in, like, tight, confined spaces. Like, that helps me rest really well. It also just feels safer. Like, it's harder to find me, I think. I think it's probably, like, my, like, burrowing mammal, like, instinct, where I'm like, if I can wedge myself somewhere dark and confined, people cannot find me, so it's easier to sleep. Yeah. Mood. Yeah, sleeping under the bed goes hard. True. Let's see, what other stories do I have for you guys? I've got a couple. Let's see. Oh, it is dino time. True. I'll raid over there in a minute. It'll be all right. I'll raid over there in a minute. Don't you worry about it. Oh, can't talk about that. Never mind. Boy, do I have a story for you later. What day was this? The 3rd? Was this the 3rd? Oh, dude, yeah. Okay, so here's check this out. So I was gonna go out to have fucking dinner with some friends or whatever, but we ended up all being too tired, so I just stayed in for the day. And then somewhere like way later, way later in the night, I was like, I'm gonna go to Don Quixote. I gotta get some stuff anyway. I was like gonna go get some like hair care products or something. So I took a train. I went to Don Quixote. It's a pretty cool one actually. Most of them are really cramped and shitty, but this one was cool. And I rode the train back to make it back before last train, right? So I wasn't late. So I didn't have to take a taxi or walk back. I probably would have walked back, and that would have sucked. That'd have been like an hour and a half. So I ride the train back from Don Quixote, and on the way back, I'm like, fuck it. You know, there's got to be something open. I'm gonna go find some food. I used to hide in my pile of stuffed animals, kid, and ignore anyone who called me and just nap. Fuck yeah, Iris. Man, I missed that. I should do that now. I've got enough stuffed animals to do that. I'll do it now. Fuck it. If they try to get a hold of me on Discord, they're like, you have work to do. I'm like, no. I'm sleeping. I'm eeping. I can't hear you. I'm in my stuffed animal pile. Anyway, so I'm on the way back to this train, and I'm like looking around for somewhere to eat, and I find this 24/7 place that's like, I think it was supposed to be like a Chinese food cuisine. I was like, I want gyoza. I want gyoza really bad. And I walk all the way there, and I get there, and it's closed, which sucks because I had already got off the train, walked all the way home to drop off my stuff from Don Quixote. And then I walked all the way back to this Chinese place, and it was closed. I was like, it's supposed to be 24/7. This sucks. So instead, I go to, I went to Sukiya. Sukiya is like a place that it feels like I don't know, like Xenokuni and McDonald's, right? Like it's relatively fast, quick food, easy to eat. So I go to this Sukiya place, and being a fucking idiot, I walked over to the like to-go machine. I walked over to the machine that you use to order like takeout, because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to just sit myself down at the counter, and I didn't know if that was allowed. So I walk over here thinking, okay, well, no waiters or waitresses have talked to me, so I'll just order off this. So I order off that. And I take it to the waitress or whatever. She rings me up, and then I sit down, and she gives me a sort of a queer look, like, why is he sitting down? So I'm sitting there, I'm just waiting, and she brings me a to-go order. I'm like, oh fuck! I'm like, I ordered to go. I'm so stupid. So then awkwardly, I don't want cold food because it would take me like 20 minutes to get home on foot. So I just start taking it out, eating it there, and I'm eating it there. She's giving me this weird look, and I'm like, Sumima-san, Mizu kudasai, you know, typical shit. And she kind of is like, huh? I was like, Mizu kudasai. And then she's like, and then walks over and pours a glass of water after making I think she made a new pitcher of water and poured me a glass of water. She brings it over, and I take a sip of this water, and it tastes like straight soap. I am convinced she either did not rinse off the dishes after washing them or poured me soapy dishwater, maybe on purpose. And she does this little like dance as she walks away, like does a little hop skip, very proud of herself. I'm like, oh shit, yucky. I see the guy to my left leave, and he has not drank any of his water. Very full glass. I'm like, oh, interesting. And then another businessman comes in on my right and sits down, and he orders ocha, which if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong, I might be missing the intricacies here, I think he ordered green tea, and she brought him a glass of fucking water. And he took a sip of it and then looked at me like I was a psychopath for having taken a sip of my water. And I was just like, and then he does not drink any of his fucking water. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this lady just serving everybody soapy water instead of what they're getting? So I finished my meal quickly and then left. And then I had nothing to do with my chopsticks. And I was like, shit, I have nothing to do with my chopsticks. So I don't have a tray and I have nowhere to put it. And I didn't know what to do with them. So I just kind of stuck them in my gross soapy water. I was like, well, you gave me dirty dishwater. I guess I'll put the dirty dishes in it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. So I guess that was my passive aggressive fuck you to her passive aggressive fuck you. He could have just been checking my vibe, true. Anyway, it was an incredibly mid experience. The food wasn't great, and the water was much worse somehow. JP story, at least one. Huh? These are all JP stories. What are you talking about? Were they about to close or something? No, it's 24/7. The water did not pass the vibe check. it's funny because my brain clicked instantly. Like typically if I drink something like that, I'd be like, oh, that's a weird flavor. Something's off. I mean, the moment it hit my tongue, I was like, oh, that's soap. That's straight soap. I just drank soap. And I took a big chug too. I was so thirsty after that walk. I was like, oh, I just drank soap. Nice. With the JP Star boys? Oh, brother, I haven't hung out with the JP Stars boys at all. At all. I don't know them like that. It would be very much being, I feel like too forward or putting upon them. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think they would be against hanging out, but I don't know what we do. I don't speak enough Japanese. I've met them. I just don't know them very well. There's not often a lot of reason for like Stars-EN and Stars-JP to communicate with each other. It's difficult to get in a situation where we can befriend each other very easily or grow to know each other more. Karaoke. I don't know if you've ever been the only non-Japanese speaking person in a room of people who do Japanese karaoke, but let me tell you, it can be awkward. That was me with the manes. That was me with the manes. Yeah. Food is universal. That's true. Listen, I would definitely go out to dinner with any of the JP boys or all of the JP boys. It would just be about aligning our schedules, I think. So let's see how that goes. Just do country roads. Basically, everybody knows country. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. And baka mitai. I'll hit those two. Those two. My passion Nihongo. That's the way to save me. That's the only way. Oh shit! I think I just broke a nail. Oh man. Oh well. Can't I talk to the Mane-sans about that? I mean, that's not exactly how it works, no. Sadly, no. It would probably be a direct, like, okay, hey man, you want to hang out type of deal? More passion, more energy. Let's go. Tragic. Tragic. It is what it is. All right, I'm almost done with JP. I'm actually not almost done with JP stories. Shit. Let's see. It's already been 10 minutes. I should probably let me see. Let me take a little peek at what Gerard's up to real quick. I want to see what he's up to. Hold on. Wait, he hasn't even started yet. What am I worried about? Fuck it. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. He's still setting up. Easy peasy. Then I can just keep on going, brother. I can just keep on talking, yapping. What else happened? Man, I've got a lot of stories lined up. I just realized. Fuck. Shit. I've had a lot of weird random interactions. Not as many as I wanted though. You know what's funny is I feel like every day I'm kind of keeping an eye out for like, oh, this making interesting stories. This is what we're talking about. And I guess part of me anticipates weird shit happening because I'm in a foreign land and like I don't speak the language and it's got to be more interesting than being at home. But a lot of days are surprisingly just normal. They are what they are. You just exist and you're good. Any interesting birds? I've seen a lot of really big old crows and I love them. They make me happy. Oh, at the zoo at Ueno, I had an experience with, let's talk about that whole day. How about that? I went to the zoo at Ueno. It was great, but unfortunately, my stomach was on fire, and I was out with that same group of friends that I went to the cat izakaya with, which was cool, but they decided to wait for me. And it's like, hey, dudes, like, don't wait for me. Like, I had to use the bathroom as soon as I got in there because I had like horrible stomach cramps and I was dying. And it was right after we'd eaten some like traditional Chinese ramen, I guess, which I don't know what that means, but that is what that is. So it's okay. I've got an eye on Gerard. You're fine, gamers. Don't tell me. Just go over there if you're going over there. You're good. This ain't about Gerard right now. It's his birthday though, so you should be over there and you should support him. Just saying. But I'm gonna finish this story. So I'm over there. I've got the stomach cramps, and these fuckers are waiting outside the bathroom for me. I'm like, please go elsewhere. Please just go on. Like, do not sit there and wait for me, dude. Go somewhere else. There's nothing more anxiety inducing than I have to use the restroom, and people are just not moving on and doing their own shit, which is fucking annoying because I'm doing my own shit quite literally. Sorry. Yeah, idols use the bathroom once in a while. It's true. Anyway, they wait for me. I get out and I'm like, I wish you guys would have just kept going, but that's fine. So then we all walk around for a while, and the zoo was like super barren. Most of this is because it's winter, but man, I don't know, it made me kind of sad. Like, a lot of the animals were just in prison basically. Like, I went and saw the monkeys, and they weren't out in their like enclosure. They were just in their like holding cells, and they were like holding cells, like bars. So you're like staring at them in these prison cells with like metal bars. And the monkeys started screaming at something, and we walk up to these screaming monkeys because we're like, oh, why are these monkeys screaming? They're just freaking out, man. So I'm looking at the monkeys, and then an employee walks up behind their bars, behind their holding cells or whatever. So the employee, I'm on the outside staring at the glass. Then there's the monkeys, and it's a very narrow room, and behind them are prison bars, and behind that is an employee staring at us like we're doing something. And I'm like, we didn't do anything. Like, they were already screaming. So we're standing there politely staring at these fucking monkeys, and the employee just makes like determined eye contact with me. And I'm like, okay, guys, maybe we should move on. I think this employee thinks that we've done something to agitate these monkeys. So we walk away, and as we're walking away, we see this employee come outside from the fucking like holding cells and like wander around and kind of just start staring at people. I'm like, dude, nobody out here is doing anything to piss off these monkeys. Like, relax. I respect that you're taking care of them and checking to see who's pissing them off, but like, we fucking triggered the aggressive guard NPC by being outside looking at the monkeys. And I just thought that was kind of funny. But I had a moment. Have I told you guys about... I've told you guys about my animal magnetism before, right? Like, I'm the friend that goes to your house and you're like, my dog doesn't like people, and your dog will run up to me. Anyway, so I went over to the seals exhibit, and the seals are out and about, and they're having a good time because they don't mind the cold. So they're just chilling out in the water, and everybody's like kind of staring at these seals, and they're trying to get them to come over, and they won't come over. So I go over to the corner to like politely be out of the way and watch these seals. And one of the seals kind of like swims by and does a lap and looks at me, and then pokes his head out of the water and stares above it, which is really cute because he's like doing this number where like just his eyes are above the water. And then he does another lap and strays a little closer to me. So then I start being like, come here. What are you doing? What are you doing, little seal? Come here. So he swims all the way over and just like pokes his head out and just stares at me. So we're just sitting there having a moment. He's like really close to the edge. I'm really close to the edge staring at him. And we do this for like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. And I'm just talking to him for a bit. And then like a kid and their family comes up next to me. And I think, this would be a cool moment for that kid to be this close to a seal. So I should probably like move aside and let the kid in. So I step slightly to the side, and the kid gets put up onto the bar where they already shouldn't be by their mom, and immediately starts just making the fucking like battle cry of a child. You know, like maybe if kids' default sound wasn't like, ah, it wouldn't be, like scare off fucking animals. Maybe they'd have more animal moments, but this seal immediately dips out. So then I dip out and I'm like, ah, fuck it, I guess. Like that was a cool moment for a second. But yeah, I was like, damn, me and that seal were like bonding. We were having a fucking connecting moment. And then it was not. It was no longer. Yeah, so that was cute. I was really excited about that. That was very cute. I was very excited. I know, that poor seal, dude. That poor seal. I should not let that child have like invaded my space, or let the child's mom kind of, you know, not push me to the side, but strong arm me away with social pressure. But I did, and then I scared the seal away. Damn it. I get scared when children make noises too, to be honest. Fair. One thing I've learned about this trip is like children on vacation are one of the most annoying creatures in the universe. The seal might have actually been 3 Ruzettas in a fursuit. True. I'll never know what kind of seal it is. I don't know. It was a cute seal. It looked like one of those water dogs. You know what I'm talking about? With the big old round eyes and like the little whiskers and the sort of puppy face. You know what I'm talking about? With like it's like sort of like dark gray on top with like light gray and speckles on the bottom. Did it have ears? I don't know. I don't think so. Well, I don't remember. Sorry. It did not smack its cute belly, but the 2 times it passed before it came over to me, it kept like, when it left from where I was, it was swimming upside down. I thought that was really cute. Like it would swim right side up, poke its head above water to get a look at me, and then as it swam away, it would always spin upside down and swim backwards. I was like, look at him having a good time. Look at the little guy just having a good time. Oh, harbor seals. That's what it was called. It was harbor seals. Thanks. You're right. It was a harbor seal. Yeah, it was cute. Yeah. Yeah. It was a harbor seal. All right. I've got more JP stories, but I'll sprinkle them throughout the streams that we have coming up. I will say that I have something going on. I think tomorrow I've got Tavern Manager Simulator, and that will be at this time as well. It'll be at 9 a.m. EST. 9 a.m. JST, 7 p.m. EST. I moved it a little earlier because it's really hard to keep my typical EST EU time zones here, and I'm trying not to be too unhealthy with my blink schedule because it's making keeping up with the managers really hard, and they're starting to get tired of chasing after me and trying to like make sure I get my work done. And I tend to go radio silent for a very long time because I'm busy doing my streaming stuff. You know how it is. But before I go, before we're done with stories, I do want to talk a little bit about my merch. Thanks. You're going to have to deal with it. And by deal with it, I mean, I hope you're excited for it. You should be excited for it. Unless you hate me. Do you hate me? You could hate me, I guess. I don't know. Fuck you. I see how it is. I try my best. I try my best. You just don't care. I try my best. You don't care. All right, check this out. Wait, where'd it go? Huh? Woggy. Oh, there it is. Check this out. Check this out. Yeah, that's right, baby. It's merch time. So this is, yeah, there's a lot. Listen, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here, and you're just gonna have to deal with that. So this is here. Let me pull this away from your face just a little bit. Maybe you don't need it quite as in your face as all that. This month there is a lot of different merch. I apologize, but I'm also not that sorry. So hold on. Let me make sure I got all of this perfectly linked. Okay, so here we go. I have New Year's merch. You've got 53 days left for that, so not worth panicking about just yet. But if you were interested in getting a hold of the New Year's acrylic, which is very cool, but more importantly, the Ruzator pen, which is incredibly cute. I like to put it on hats sometimes, or sweaters, or jackets. Then I would recommend keeping your brain on the idea that there are 53 days left to get a hold of that. I have new outfit merch, but there's only 19 days left there, so that might be a little more imperative to you. If you wanted the lore voice back, or you wanted a signed Checky, or you wanted a little Ruzator plushie keychain, or my Lose Your Keys metal keychain for the new outfit, now is the time to get a hold of that. You've got about close to 3 weeks left, but really I would say 2 weeks and a couple days, if you want to be honest. I think that it would be cool if in the future, when you guys wanted to show off your merch for like things like, I don't know, collections or like fan merch or Ida bags or whatever, if you're reviewing or talking about merch, or you want to talk about my non-Minchy VPs, please don't spoil them, but you can talk about them or review them. Maybe we could do like a hashtag for that, like hashtag like merch Zader or some shit. I don't know. That could be kind of cool. Something that allows you to have a merch hashtag so you could show off the things that you've like collected. I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe I could, you know, brainstorm some ideas for that. But for now, let's use hashtag merch Zader just to keep it safe and keep it cohesive. Feel free to talk about the VPs, but please don't spoil the plot on them. If you want to talk about, like, you know, I liked the atmosphere, the mood, or the sound design was good. That's cool. But don't spoil the plot, please. Thanks. Yeah, I think that's it for the merch that I have available. The links are in the description down below, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to get that. Obviously, the better I do on merch sales, the more the government likes me, which is great. And hopefully the better merch they'll give me in the future, which, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw a post from Misty Mountain Gaming recently, but that is a direct correlation to the idea, to the fact that you guys have done, you guys get a lot of my merch, which is very nice of you and very kind. And you certainly don't have to, but I appreciate it when you do. Opportunities like that come around because you guys have good sales, frankly. You guys are good at, I don't know, buying out my merch. That's very nice of you. It gives me really, really cool opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't have had. And that could not have come at a better time. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but I am collaborating with Misty Mountain Gaming. That will be very fun. I'm not going to spoil what we're doing, but yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited. Can we have, wait. Fan-made merch? Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't use merch Zader for that. I think it's probably fine. I mean, if we really need to delineate, I'll let you know. Like, if we need to like put a differential on those, then we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to differentiate those. We will do that if it ends up becoming a problem or it gets too muddy. But yeah. Misty Mountain Gaming would never retweet your thing about Ruze Dice unless they would. You never know. Probably. Let's see. Was there something else I needed to talk about before I dipped out of here? Do you guys want any other tags for anything? I know that like Octavio is like a fanfic tag and Gerard's got a not safe for work tag, and I'm not offering that up because I don't fucking care. If you guys want to work with each other and make a not safe for work tag, be my guest. But are you guys wanting to do like, we could do like maybe like a hashtag meow Zader for cat pics and stuff, because I know sometimes you guys just put that under the art tag and that's probably not the right place for that. A voice pack tag would be smart, so you guys could talk about the voice packs. Still no spoilers, but talking about them would be cool. Maybe a hashtag. Well, the voice packs aren't always about the Ruzbo, so that doesn't work. Hashtag Ruze VP is pretty boring. Hashtag. That's kind of boring. I don't know. I'll think about it. Let me think about it. I have a dog. Dogs can go in meow Zaders. Dogs are honorary cats as far as I'm concerned. Well, cows are honorary dogs and dogs are honorary cats, so that checks out. Yeah, persona. Ruze act. Voice Zader. Crimzon voices. Oh, we're using a lot of Zaders. All right, listen, let's do like hashtag Ruze VP is fine. That's fine. Voice packs. Oh, that's pretty funny actually. I like that. That's kind of funny. That's not bad. Hashtag voice packs. I like hashtag voice packs. Let's do that. Hashtag voice PAXE. Hashtag voice packs. Cool. Okay, we'll use that. All right, so that is about it for me, gamers. Thank you so much for always pushing the merch and really trying to like do your best to get a hold of that. Obviously, do not do that unless you're financially stable enough to do it. And second stipulation, please don't buy merch out of obligation. If the merch doesn't interest you or you don't like it personally, if you don't see yourself like, finding joy from that, don't get the merch to like just to support me. I appreciate it, but I want you to have things you like. But thank you genuinely for always pushing it so hard. I don't know exact numbers. The management won't tell me that, and I'm not supposed to know. But they say I do very well on merch, which means you guys, like, I'm not really doing very well. That means you guys are doing very well on merch. As in, you obviously like what I'm putting out. I will keep trying to put out unique or interesting things that I think you'll enjoy. So I guess keep an eye out. And the better we do, the better off we'll be. So hopefully the Misty Mountain thing goes well. Hopefully, new outfit merch goes well, and we're good to go. So thank you, gamers. Thank you. That's all for me, I think. I think. Let me check my notes. There might have been something important I was supposed to talk about, and I might have forgot. Man, I put these notes in a ton of different places. Hold on. No, I did the old Control F search. I want all of Armis merch. I think I talked about everything I did. I'm still waiting on my plus. Soon. You know what? That's probably fine. If I forgot anything, I'll talk about it next stream. I mean, next stream's tomorrow. It can't be that late, right? Though I do have some homework I really got to get done, like right now. So I'll probably work on that after this. But thank you, gamers, for the hanging out in Zatsuing. I'll probably do a Zatsu part 2 at some point where I just talk more about JP stories, and that's probably going to be the dedicated like stream bit. Like it probably won't be any Resolve, but yeah. But keep an eye out for JP Stories Part 2, where I talk more about what's happened here. If you know your percentage of merch earnings, where do I get my percentage of merch earnings? Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if I do my percentage on like, I don't think they tell, well, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look at that. We'll see. Good question. Big brain time. Though obviously that would change based on conversion rates. Anyway, it's not that important. I just know you guys have done a great job. Moving on. Bye-bye, gamers. Bye-bye. Have fun. Go hang out with Gerard. He's doing his hand cam stream for his birthday. And go say happy birthday to Gerard. Let's go, gamers. See you tomorrow for more Tavern Manager Simulator. Whee! Also, if I end up getting perms in time, there might be a Gorilla Civ 7 stream, so keep an eye out for Civilization 7, possibly, because I will not be able to resist playing it as soon as I get perms. Bye-bye! I'm going to go do some homework, and then maybe I'm going to go, I don't know, hit a ramen shop and make some more Xenokuni stories. See, the trick to good stories is you don't facilitate them. They have to happen naturally, and oh my god, then they're beautiful. Bye!